Yes, I can.
Nice.
What's up, Tommy?
Nice. I like that background, man.
Hey, man, you know, we got to jazz it up. This is the
Yeah.
YouTuber conference, you know?
I love it. It's awesome. Look at all
Tommy,
that motion.
You like that motion?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to get started soon.
Cool. Should I just go on, I'll just go on mute until you cue me, right?
Yes, sir.
Break out your shell, go and hit the clubs. Don't be the reason TLC made scrubs. You can learn a lot, meet new people. See how we're all different but still equal. There's so many doors like in the Matrix. All of our duties take you back to the basics.
We are world changers. We are difference makers. We are future leaders. We are world changers.
Look, it's a plane, not to Seahawk, man. Soaring higher, looking for new goal to attain. This school is filled with people young and old. They are all young, living stories untold. On the route to riches, so there's no washing dishes. Ready for them quizzes, they gotta handle business. With a future state of mind, you gotta let it shine. Go and take your time, don't get pushed over that line. Next step, influence the world around you. We are Seahawks, we bleed white and blue. And we fly high like planes over the sea. You already know, I heart BC. BC is a place for you and me. We got a dream to be a team that makes change in the community. No failure, we have immunity. I heart BC, it's the best choice.
All right, everyone. All right. It looks like it's that time. It looks like it's that time. Good afternoon and welcome. Thank you for joining us for South Florida's first ever YouTube Career Conference. You're here and we're ready to get started. Okay, so who am I? I'm Tron Lepet from Broward College, and I am a proud member of B2L. That's right, Bridge to Life. Honored to be your MC for this conference. We're going to go over the program for this evening, but first, I want to start by answering the question, why? Why are we hosting this conference? Does it have educational merit? Well, the short answer is absolutely it does. Here's what we know. Our youth, you, the community, have told us that this is the career pathway that most interests you. We get it. Here's why that's so important. All jobs are going to require digital fluency skills, period. Whether you gain those building an online channel or working at Microsoft or elsewhere, you are going to need them. That you can guarantee. And the online world is the new frontier. I mean, you guys know that. For esports alone, did you know that more than 170 US colleges have varsity esports programs and are offering around $16 million per year in scholarships? I wish I would have known that because I used to play a lot of games growing up. The esports industry and world of online influencers is an expanding area of study and a legitimate, hear me, a legitimate career path. In other words, it's serious business. With that being said, we have an amazing lineup of influencers and speakers, and some amazing companies are here with us tonight. We're going to stop every 15 to 30 minutes, or for you to hear from Microsoft, Amazon, Ultimate, NextEra Energy, Total Marine Solutions, SEI Wireless, and those are just the companies for tonight. Listen up to learn about internships, scholarships, and more. So, what are we covering tonight? Tonight one, here's our program. We kick things off with an amazing keynote speaker, Derral Eves. By the way, I want you to know Derral Eves is all things YouTube. You want advice on how to create and grow your YouTube channel? He's your guy. He's my guy. Derral will then be joined by 3 other special digital influencers. I don't know, you may have heard of them. Big Jaw, Destroying, Jobless Gamer. They're here for you. You are going to hear from them directly, and you'll be able to ask them questions. So have your questions ready. Be ready to go in the Q&A and ask as many questions as you want. Networking is key. After that, we have information sessions on entrepreneurship and monetization and digital branding and SEO with our very own Professor Shears from Broward College and another wonderful influencer, Misfits Gaming. Lots of things are happening throughout the night. Y'all wanted it, so here it is. So before I introduce our keynote, let's talk about the first cash prize opportunity for you. Yes, cash prizes. I'm sure you saw that in the email. B2L is offering 20, get this, 20 $100 prizes for the best 60-second videos summarizing your key takeaways from this conference. Doesn't matter if you post it on YouTube, Twitch, it doesn't matter. Just send us the link. $2,100 prizes. My good, I can't believe it. You have until February 19th. Okay, write that down, make note of it. Until February 19th to submit that, okay? And we have another cash prize opportunity for you being offered by the incredible Ultimate Gamer Group. We are going to start by showing you a short video, and then the next person you're going to hear from after that video is my guy, Tommy Knapp. Okay, so he is going to take a few minutes to talk about himself. He'll tell you who he is, and then the Ultimate Gamer competition being offered. Let's go to that video.
Going dark.
Tron, am I supposed to jump in now?
Tommy, the floor is yours. Go for it.
Man, thank you very much. First of all, you're crushing it, bro. You're crushing it. I love it. So they wanted me just to speak very briefly about how I got involved in esports. I started my career in traditional pro sports with the Miami Marlins, the Miami Dolphins, and the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. When I was with the Miami Marlins, they recruited me to run a program called Baseball to Business. And that program was all about connecting the dots between business leaders and getting a return on their investment. And one of the things that I did is I hosted a lot of events. And so when I hosted those events, one of the things we wanted to have was great content. And that got me involved in esports and gaming. So I was looking at esports and gaming, saw Jerry Jones and Mark Cuban and the Cronkies, and all these guys are spending a lot of money in the space. And my kids, who were 8 and 11 at that time, decided that they wanted, or they were already involved in gaming. So I was like, I've got to get involved in gaming and esports. And I just jumped in. I left the Marlins, and that was about 3 years ago. And one of my first stops was the Ultimate Gamer. And I've been with them now for about 2 years. The Ultimate Gamer is where the world comes to play. So we celebrate once a year with a competition to crown the best gamer in the world. And let me just briefly go through how we're going to do that. Phase 1 of this best gamer in the world competition starts April 1st. It's free, it's online, and we start with a PC division in the games of Fortnite, Tekken, League of Legends, and Valorant. So that's the PC division, goes April 1st to May 31st, excuse me. And then we start the console division in June 1st through July 31st. And that's Fortnite, 2K, NBA 2K, Smite, and Rainbow Six. So that's phase 1. You have a division that's console division. You have a division that's PC division. We take the top 2,000 from each of those divisions, and they go into phase 2, which will start on September 1st. Phase 2, you actually have to play a cross-platform, and you have to play a cross-title. So instead of just picking one game to play to get to the next level, you actually have to play all the titles at that level to move on. And then we will crown, that will go for 2 months. That'll be September 1st through October 30th. And then we'll go on to December 1st. We will have our live international global tournament, which will take place right now. Could be in Miami in South Florida, could be in Dubai, could be in Qatar. We don't know where it's going to be yet, but it will be a live event. So that is what the Ultimate Gamer is as far as the Worldwide Open goes. And then the other thing they wanted me to talk very briefly about, because we wanted to jump into this competition as well, as far as offering prizes and awards, we're doing a podcast editing competition. And so I'm not going to get too in depth in this because it can get a little confusing, and I don't know if anybody's taking notes right now, but what I want you to do is go to ultimategamer.com. That's where you can find all the information about the Worldwide Open. You can also find out about the Ultimate Gamers Arena, and you can find out about this podcast editing competition by filling out the Contact Us form. Just fill that out. It takes about 30 seconds. And in the subject title, put podcast editing. And what will happen is we will then send you one of the podcasts. We have 100 podcasts called All About the Game. We'll send you one of those podcasts. We'll send you a sample of what we've already done. We'll send you the intro. It's a guest intro, the show intro, the podcast itself, the wrap up. And then you have to edit that podcast. And once you edit that podcast, you'll send it back to us. This will all be done by Dropbox. And I'll explain this again through email when you send us your contact information. But we are going to give away what we're calling 3 startup streaming kits. So that'll include a mouse, a keyboard, and a headset. That'll be for the number 2, 3, and 4 people in the editing competition, and the one $500 scholarship for the grand prize for the best edited podcast. So that's the competition. Again, go to ultimategamer.com and just fill out the contact us form. That's the easiest way to do it. Good luck. Thank you to Bridge to Life and Broward College. We're going to see you tomorrow for the gaming and esports panel, and enjoy the rest of the program. Thanks, Tron.
Man, Tommy, whoa, that's I didn't know that was what you're going to offer. Wow.
Come on.
Amazing stuff here. So just editing a podcast, and guys, I know you watch podcasts all the time, so that's an awesome opportunity. Tommy, thank you so much. That was amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Tommy Knapp, Ultimate Gamer Group in the house. Thank you, Tommy.
Hey, Tron, I'm going to throw in one more thing. A
Go
gaming chair. We'll throw in a gaming chair too. We'll throw in a gaming chair.
They're throwing in a gaming chair? Okay, because
yeah,
sometimes
they can decide if they want a streaming setup or a gaming chair. So gaming chair, those are about $300. We'll do a gaming chair as well.
Tommy, listen, I wish I could enter the competition, but I'm not a youth, I'm not a teenager, so I can't do it. This is for the teens, this is for our community, our future. Tommy, thank you so much. And Ultimate Gamer Group, thank you as well. On behalf of Tommy, thank you guys so much. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you again. Can we get that? We're going to move right along, folks. Now, drum roll, please. Introducing our keynote speaker. We've already talked about him. We've already told you he is all things YouTube, and we said it. You wanted it. We're giving it to you. This is the YouTube conference. Derral Eves. We are honored to have him here and excited to have all of you hear from him. Derral, if you're on, I want you to know the floor is yours.
All right. Well, great. I'm sharing my screen, but I don't know if I see my video yet. Do you see anything on that? Just want to make sure that we're good to go. There we go. All right, everyone. I want to really take the moment that I have, the 15 minutes that I have as your keynote, and really talk about the true opportunities of YouTube. And I think every day, I think a lot of you want to be in front of the camera, but today I want to actually give you options that there's so many different things in the industry that you can do to really succeed on YouTube. And it is an amazing business to be a part of. Now, that being said, just to give you a little bit of background of who I am, I think it's really important. A lot of you probably don't know who I am. I have been on YouTube for a very long time. I do a lot of strategy and tactics. And so here's some of my clients. I work with brands. Here's one of the creators I started with when he was actually clean shaven and a little bit younger. He now actually looks like this, Mr. Beast, if you're familiar with him. He gets almost 1 billion video views a month and has built himself an amazing empire. He has 54 employees. And it's really important that this is a movement to create a business. And this is where the true opportunity is. Now, that being said, a little bit of background. I've done over 60 billion video views on YouTube, another 32 billion on Facebook, and I'm obsessed with video. I even wrote a book about video, YouTube formula. Mr. Beast wrote the foreword, and he contributed a lot of case studies that we worked on together to be a part of that book. And every play button that you see in this picture here right now is a channel that I personally own. So not only do I consult, but I actually do it for myself. And that's something that I think everyone can do, okay? Now, I really love YouTube. I really love video. And this is the reason why, because you can have epic videos like a pooping unicorn, but that pooping unicorn could lead to a lot of money. So what we did is I was one of the executive producers, project lead for this ad campaign for the Squatty Potty. It did $45 million in attributable sales. What it did, it took a company from $2 million to $200 million, and they sold to a bigger company. Now, listen, guys, this is the true opportunity, and not so many times, you're the right person to be in front of the camera. So in this training, in this keynote, I want to help you really succeed and see these opportunities. Now, a lot of you have the desire to be in front of the camera, be a content creator. You want to be the next Mr. Beast. You want to be the next Laser Beam. You want to be, really being that persona. And that's great. You're going to do it. You can actually put the energy and effort and time into it. but you got to build your team around you. I've worked with so many different content creators over my career, and some people have a real knack to really help content creators succeed. And I want to talk about these opportunities because they pay really well. And I'm going to give you some options here. And I think some of it might shock you. Okay. The first one is a videographer or a DP. This is a skill set that every creator is. I've just recently, I just gave a referral to someone that I knew as a DP in the space, and he's making about $180,000 a year making YouTube videos as a videographer. He does not edit the videos. He actually just does the production of the videos and then sends it off to an editor. And you can get anywhere, if you're a good videographer, you can get anywhere in the neighborhood of 6,000 to 30,000 plus a month. It just really depends on who you're a part of and what you're able to do. So the best way to do it, this is a great career. That also leads to an editor. This is by far, if you are good at content, this is by far the most difficult skill to perform. Is the editor, and people will pay through the nose for a great editor. Some lead editors make anywhere between $200,000 and $400,000 a year. These are for YouTube creators. They're working with YouTube creators. If the edit actually performs better, then guess what, guys? They actually make more money, and so thus they're going to be able to hire a team of editors. Now, keep in mind, you have a lead editor that pretty much handles the bulk of the edit, but then it breaks down, and you might have 5 or 6 editors working for one channel that you actually see on YouTube. There is no way that one editor could handle all the stuff that Mr. Beast does on Mr. Beast and Mr. Beast Gaming. It just doesn't happen. And in fact, it's pushing about 8, almost 9 editors on that. Now, this next one, I can tell you, this is the biggest area that every content creator is looking for. If you're a graphic designer, thumbnail designer is by far the thing that you need to do. And the background of why you want to learn these traits is not only Photoshop. Photoshop's fine, but you got to understand the theology and understanding of how humans respond to specific thumbnails. I am obsessed with that. This is where the bulk of my attention and learning goes into, is understanding the dynamics behind that. Now, this is not a Mr. Beast thumbnail designer. This is another thumbnail designer that we just got placed into working with a creator. He's pulling in $200,000 a year just doing 4 thumbnails a month. Now, keep in mind, those are for final thumbnails, but he puts a lot of energy and time and prep work. We're talking a week to get some of the shots that are actually there. And you might think that's insane, but if you don't get the click, you'll never get the view. If you never get the view, you never get the money. That's why it's a business. And that's why good thumbnail designers, I can guarantee you, when a good content creator finds someone, they're going to just pay them bonuses because off of click-through rate and so on and so forth. That's something that's really, really there. Now, you might not start out. You might start out for a couple $100 per thumbnail, but that's where it is. This is a huge industry that you're able to discover that there's a lot of opportunities. Now, this one, channel manager. This channel management, the biggest channels have someone that's managing the channels. They're managing the upload, they're optimizing the video, optimizing the video, interacting with the audience, making sure the schedule's there, making sure there's no content ID issues, going through copyright claims. This is big, and you can get anywhere between 70,000 a year to a couple hundred thousand, and ultimately you can be in bigger networks where you can make more money if you have other people helping you underneath. That's kind of where that's at. And VFX is probably one of the most underutilized. We don't have enough. The gaming industry's taken them all. They really are. And so if you do VFX, there's a lot of opportunity out there. And with VFX, you have sound effects. So all these are different career paths. All these are paths that you can do to really get those video content out there, because YouTube is a business. YouTube is a career. It's not just someone in their mom's basement making YouTube videos. This is hundreds of millions of dollars a year are created by one business. Okay, because they're able to leverage not only on YouTube, but other platforms that are out there taking brand deal sponsorship opportunities. You would be amazed. Okay, next is writers. Now you wait a minute. writers, how are you getting writing in YouTube content? Well, that happens all the time. Some of the biggest content creators, they really look at how can we weave in the story to really have that story arc in writing that's needed, or what some really things that we could react to or kind of plan in. Yes, this is entertainment, and yes, it's not 100% authentic of what you see, but it is entertainment of what you receive, okay? And a lot of that stuff comes through very clever writing, and some of it might be in strategy writing, where this is kind of where I come into play is, hey, what is that title and thumbnail? What is this essence of the video itself? And then how does that video flow? That's what a lot of creators are looking for, is because it's that next big idea, that next big trend that will really push it. Next is a content deal maker. Okay. I met someone that says, hey, I just want to be a content deal maker, and I want to go into it. He was one of the first in the industry. He was going out and bringing content to brands, and then brands would have that relationship, and they would do influencer deals. He sold his company to Bill Gates for a lot of money. Okay. And there's a lot of opportunity when you connect people in the space. And I'm telling you, if you can actually get with the right people, this is where it becomes extremely valuable. And we're talking, 7, 8, 9 figures plus is the opportunity, because if you're always bringing a deal and you get a percentage of the deal, wow. That just goes on up. Marketer and the strategist. Now, this is kind of where my bread and butter is. I like strategy. I like to try to figure out how to make more money. I like to figure out how we can leverage the assets on YouTube to really make it expand into other areas. Also, that weaves into content, that weaves into merchandise, that weaves into products. That's something I love to do. That's a huge opportunity. I can tell you, there's not a dollar amount that it's capped. You can always make more, because if you actually put it into place, you can actually get a percentage of every single sale, every single thing that actually happens, not only on the ad side, but also on the fulfillment side. Analyst, more and more creators are astute. They are looking for data scientists. I can tell you right now, I'm looking for 5 data scientists, and I'm looking for 5 data scientists, because I can't have enough of that. We need people to actually analyze data, because most content creators that are really crushing it on the platform right now are data-driven creators. That means they make data-driven decisions in this process. And so you can go into this. You just need to be an analytical geek. You need to be able to understand, okay, here's what we're looking for. This is how we extrapolate all this data and translate it for the creators so they can make better content, because creators want to learn from the data to make better decisions. And as they make better decisions, they make more money. As they make more money, boom, that's where they're able to grow their business. Now, look, we've gone through a lot, and some of you might want to go down the law route. I'm telling you, the new next level of law is working with esports, working with content creators, working with copyright, all the different things that are actually happening in the eternal landscape. I know of some content creators right now that are attorneys that are doing more on the attorney side, because it just opens up a lot of opportunities of people needing a lawyer and so on. Accounting, I can tell you, if you ever saw the accounting practices of Mr. Beast and all it takes, because he gives away money, that's a complication of all the different things that you got going on. And there's different types of things that you need to do. It's amazing the opportunities that are there. And you could do this all across the board from a publicist and so on. So these are the careers. But what I want to do, I know I had to run through it quick. I only had 15 minutes, but I want to just take a second, and I really want to give to you a couple things that you should always consider. The biggest mistake that most people make is I want to be in front of the camera. And I truly do believe that you can have opportunities to learn. And that's why you're here. That's why you're here on this call today. That's why you're going into college and doing all these great things. But really learn, become a student. I spend over an hour a day just being a student, trying to learn. And you have a vast amount of resources that are here that can really help you succeed, but you have to be willing to learn. And if you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you become stagnant, and you will never take it to the level where you want it to be. And I know a lot of people here in the space would love to succeed, but if you saw the day of these content creators that are really crushing it, it would discourage a lot of you from even going into it, because they're all in, they're all obsessed. And that's why all these other ancillary positions, all these careers around it are really powerful because it's supporting the creator that's willing to put in the insane amount of hours, and you can still benefit as you bring your skill set of what God's given you or whatever your passion and love is, that you're able to translate that over to make an amazing piece of content. And keep in mind, like I said, Mr. Beast has like 56 employees. So like you think it is just him and his buddies. Well, no, it is a multi-million, hundreds of millions of dollars company that he's out there disrupting the world. And that's just Mr. Beast. And I can tell you that this is the biggest inspiration that I want all of you to say, to know, is there's a YouTuber in my town in Southern Utah, rural Southern Utah, that has a tow truck company. And he came to me, says, I want to be a YouTuber. I says, great, let me support you. In 6 months, he did 510 million subscribers and 110 million video views. He made $1.6 million. And about 780,000 of that was on AdSense. The other one was the money that he was able to make from November 23rd to today. And that was because he was able to integrate something, become his own brand, and have a product that he has on his own that we've created, and we're able to serve it out to his audience, and it just works. And that is big. And I can tell you, just in 2 months, he made more money in 2 months than he did the whole previous year in his tow truck business. And so there's a lot of opportunity, but you have to be willing to learn, willing to put yourself around the right people, network, grind to succeed. You might have to volunteer your time, become a PA, try to figure out how to do it, rub shoulders with people. And that's where you can succeed. But it's all about you every day trying to improve, following your passions, and really taking it to the next level. So I truly do believe that you can do it. You have all these avenues to do it. You have some really amazing experts that's coming on the panel here next that I know and trust, and they've done a lot in the area, and you can learn a lot from them. So thank you so much for jumping on this keynote, and I can't wait for you to experience learning at a higher level during this conference. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Derral. Wow. What an amazing keynote speaker for our conference. We couldn't have done this without you. We greatly appreciate it. And I think you just set the tone for the rest of the afternoon. Attendees, wasn't that amazing? Again, thank you, Derral Eves. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone. Now we're going to hear from Derral again and our special influencers. And as I mentioned before, who do we have on with us? We have Destroying in the house, destroying all obstacles. We have Jobless Gamer. Get ready for Jobless Gamer. And we also have with us Big Jaw. We can't wait to hear what they have to say. So here's how it's going to work. We have 5 minutes at the end for students to ask their questions. Don't worry. Hear me out. Don't worry. There's going to be more Q&A time when we get to our next session. So again, Big Jaw, famous comedian out of California, all the way over here in Florida, virtually. We have destroying all obstacles, all things athletics, amazing talent. We also have Jobless Gamer. And did you know Jobless Gamer started streaming full-time the day he graduated from FIU? That's right, Florida guy. So without any further ado, Derral, special guest influencers, I'm going to pass the floor over to you. Derral, you got it. Take it away.
All right. So we are doing a panel, and we have some pretty amazing people here today. What I want to do is everyone in the panel, I was able to do my little quick intro. I'd like you to just do a really quick intro, about 20 seconds, 30 seconds max, and let people know what you're about and what you're doing. Let's go ahead and start with Garrett.
Yeah, so my name is Garrett. Currently running over 6 YouTube channels, been doing it since 2011, full-time since 2013. Got my big break on GTA 5, and I've been doing gaming since. Currently have 11 employees, and honestly, just living my best life, chasing the dream. So
yeah. I love it. Love it. All right, Big Jaw, you're up.
Big Jaw's not on yet. He's still trying to log on, so we're just going to continue moving forward for the time being, but he'll be on shortly.
Okay, Destroying, if you wouldn't mind just doing your quick bio.
How's it going? My name is Destroying. I currently have a channel with like 3.2 million. I do a lot of sports content. I played college football, little bit of pro football, but my big break kind of came when I had to make a decision between keeping my YouTube channel or keeping my scholarship in college. Yeah.
Well, I definitely,
but
definitely want to talk about that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically my story.
Cool. So what I want to do is I want to enlighten people about the industry, and both of you have spent a certain amount of time trying to build an audience online. And so Garrett, like, how did you go from 0 to 11 employees? And what did that actually take?
Yeah, it took a lot of realization that like what was impossible was possible. So for me, it was more so coordinating that, hey, like all the jobs I'm doing, I want to alleviate the time that I have in the day. And I want to just have people that could do the roles better than I could. So an example, when you first start off YouTube, you start off just you're behind the camera, you're editing, you're making the thumbnails. And eventually like you start to realize like, hey, I'm making enough money, or I want to take the risk and get someone that's better than me. So, once I started expanding on all those avenues, all the editors I brought in, the thumbnail artists, they were just better than me. Because you can only grow so much when you're, focused on so many avenues. So for me, I started just hiring more and more, and slowly but surely, because of that process, it allowed me to expand. And in doing so, my revenue also expanded. So that's how I went about doing it.
And how valuable is that thumbnail designer for your content? Like literally put it on a scale of your content, your video going out, and all your business. Yeah.
Like one of the most important, like probably the most important thing. Like when Derral tells you guys he is like, and he won't say this, but he is the man of the space. Like when I saw that he was on the list of people that are talking today, I'm like, this is the man. Like I've known Derral for many years. Fun fact, I hired Derral 4 years ago as a consultation when I lived in LA, when I only had one YouTube channel and only one editor and thumbnail artist. So now I've like grown to where we are.
Full circle, brother.
Yeah, full circle. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So the importance of having the right people in the space is key. And I think you made two very specific points. You found someone that was better at thumbnails than you, and it does make the biggest difference. Like the order of priority is, if you actually ever want the algorithm to kick and have people see your content, you have to get them to click. And I'm telling you, that is worth a lot of money. And I can tell you that is a specific skill set. Did they come in and just crush it immediately on thumbnails, or was there a learning process? Could you go through that a little bit?
So I think it's two different ball games. So if you get someone that's experienced, it's like any line of work. If you get someone that's experienced and knows what they're doing in this space, then they can come in and crush it. Usually what you'll find is you may hire someone for what they're worth. The more experience they have, the more they're going to cost you. Like he said earlier, I know guys in the space that are making anywhere between $30,000 to $100,000 a month in just making thumbnails. Like that sounds crazy, but there's some thumbnail artists that are absolutely making bank because they know how valuable it is of the information they have on how to maximize click-through ratio, which is like one of the most important features to people coming to like see your video. So yeah, it's if you have to train someone, they don't really know what they're doing, but they're a great graphics designer. It takes a lot of knowledge and understanding of the YouTube algorithm to figure out what is going to make a human click on this video instead of another video. And like getting that process down is not an easy one for a graphics artist at all.
Yeah, no, I love that. And Destroying, tell us about that process for you, for about that thumbnail and having, or do you do your own thumbnails, or do you have a team that helps you with
so
that?
I have a team. I have a filmer, editor, a graphics guy who does my thumbnails. And I would honestly say the title and thumbnail portion of, video creation is probably the toughest. Like the content comes easy, like, it's natural. You've done this 100,000 times. And then it's like, dang, what do I title this video? How do I get people to click on this thumbnail? So me and him have a little back and forth. We hop on FaceTime and I kind of explain the vibe of the video. I let him watch it. And then I send him some screenshots of my video, or we take some photos, and he kind of we just go back and forth until we figure it out.
Yeah. And the cool thing about this is that we now have the tools to understand what people are responding to. And I know that when we actually create a thumbnail for a huge project, it doesn't matter what it is, from the Squatty Potty Pooping Unicorn, we did a split testing of 145 different thumbnails and title variations. And we wanted to see which one actually would click more, because that meant money. Every click is money. And like for Mr. Beast, I know that we spent obsessed days trying to come up with the right thumbnail, the ideation, and then also the execution and getting it just right. And we had 5, this is no exaggeration, we had 5 thumbnail designers on a call doing the final touches on the YouTube Rewind video that he has on his channel. And we're just trying to get it just right, because it needed to have mass appeal and we needed to have that nostalgic, flip back. But I mean, we spent days on that. 5 designers and just pushing it back and forth. And we did even a live edit where you're getting designers to put some ideas and see that ideation in it. So that right there should tell you all, guys, that there's opportunity for a great designer, because both of them are using designers, and I have used a ton of designers on that as well. Okay, so let's get down to what is the day in the life of a YouTuber. And Destroying, let's start with you first, and then we'll have Garrett flip on that. And then if Big Jaw's in the house, we'll see if he's on at that time.
All right, so for me, it's a little complicated to kind of have a routine. So whenever I'm home, I like to get up in the morning, sit in the office, figure it out what videos I want to film, what collabs I can do, what business calls I got to make, or whatever. And that's usually like 4 or 5 hours of my day. Then after that, I don't know, I like to work out and stuff. So I hit the gym up, then come home, film whatever I have to film, send it off to my editor, send it off to my filmer or whatever. And then I kind of like to unwind and relax, because I mean, this is the greatest job ever, but I feel like you got to have some time away from, the screen and doing what you do.
Yeah, but you're spending 5 to 6 hours doing business stuff, dude. Because you can't.
Yeah, no, literally, and it's different too, though, because I travel a lot for my videos. So I'll go to Florida, or I'll go to Cali, or something like that. So yeah, I guess then it's less of a routine. It's kind of just whatever presents itself, I take care of. But for the most part, I try to at least keep my routine where I handle the work stuff in the morning, get a workout in, and then handle my creative stuff afterwards.
I love it. Okay, Garrett, you're up, man.
It's a little different for me. So I wake up every day and I have a channel manager and I have an operations manager just like hands me like a to-do list for the day. So like I know right when I wake up, like these are the videos I have to record for the week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, particularly, I have Among Us recordings. So from 1 to 8 p.m. we're doing Among Us only. And then at 10 p.m. EST every day I stream on Twitch. So then that goes to like 5 a.m. And then I normally have gym sessions Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So then from 1 to 2, I'm at the gym. Pretty much like every day is pretty much coordinated, but like that sounds really nice. It was never like that. The last 2 years have been like me really focusing on like, hey, like time is money. I got to make sure I'm like really, really organized. Before I would just wake up and like just try to figure out for the day. But that was like when I didn't have a huge team that relied on me to pay the bills, and it was just me. So lately it's been more like, structured. And once I got that structure in my life and I knew what I was doing every day, everything just started exponentially growing. I mean, like just things started flowing a lot better. So I know when I have meetings, I know when I have things to do, I know when things are coming out, and we're normally planned like pretty far ahead in terms of content, sometimes weeks ahead. So I can get ahead if I need to go on a trip or travel, I can easily do that.
So part of it was you alluded back to our first consultation we did. I don't know, was it 3 years ago or 4 years ago, whatever it was. But I think the biggest thing was this is a business, okay? And you treated it like a business. You were able to scale as you're growing and not say, okay, let's just take the money and buy a Lambo unless it's content, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, no, let's like reinvest it into the business. Maybe we need to bring 4 or 5 other people in so that we can actually be disruptive in the space. And
100%.
that I think that's the big play right there. When it's at the end of the day, this is a business opportunity, and if you leverage it that way, sky's the limit. It really is.
A lot of people get into this space like, oh, this is gonna be easy, fast money, and they start to see like, oh man, I'm making $3,000 to $6,000 a month, which is great money. But when you realize like the perspective can change, where if you just start investing that money that you're making back into your content, you can 10 times, 100 times that money per month pretty easily. Like, I don't know if there's any other spaces you can do what we do, making the money we make by really just enjoying what we do. Like, I mean, destroying Jaw, I'm sure you guys can speak on this too. Like, you guys naturally just wake up loving what you do. So like, there's not a lot of people that are blessed in the position that we're in like this. So
No, 100%.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo. Yep, got it.
Real quick, how y'all doing, man? I had technical difficulties to get on, man. But
What up, man?
thank y'all for
A
having me.
YouTuber with technical difficulties. Come on, man.
Right.
No, give everybody a quick bio, and then we'll jump into that same question for you.
Oh, shoot. My bad, bro. Jade Pickett. People call me Big Ja. Filmmaker, comedian, stand-up comedian, actor. And I've been on YouTube for years, but didn't really start doing well until I got consistent in 2017. So I live in LA, man. I do sketch comedy, and that's what I do, brothers.
I love it. And you have a decent following. You put out a lot of different content.
Right.
Yeah, I see one channel with 1.1 million subscribers, and you're getting a ton of video views on those too as well. I mean, you're at 328 million, which is awesome. So when did it shift from, like, being a comedian, when did it shift to becoming a content creator that is more a business? Did that shift for you, or are you still kind of in that comedy world?
No, it's definitely a business. Still a stand-up comic. However, when I realized that I was able to make some money off of it, because initially I was doing it because I enjoyed doing it, and I still enjoy doing it. That's the only reason why I do it. But I wasn't making money initially. I was just doing sketches because I enjoyed doing them, making people laugh and seeing their reaction and seeing my vision come to life through screen. So that's how it started. When I realized I could make some money doing it, and I can cut out all the other things I was doing for work. And I sat down and got serious about it and said, yeah, this is something I need to do. I need to get people around me to help me build this brand, help me build what I have going. And that was around 2018, about a couple years ago.
Who actually did you bring around you to do that? Because I think that's
initially it was just me. As far as shooting sketches, it was me and my buddies. We all shoot sketches. So as far as production, it was just my boys grabbing cameras, shooting my sketches, and I was shooting their sketches. As far as the first person I had on my team was my boy Dame, my manager. Known him for years. We went to college together, but he came. Before that, I was a bodyguard for his artists back in the day. So I started really going hard with the content, and then he stepped in as my manager. And so he was the first person. He is the first person that I have part of my team. So it's almost like a two-man team. I have an assistant too. But so it's a two-man team, me and my boy Dame, and he handles so much more. He handles so much more things that I would probably go crazy trying to handle now, doing what I'm doing. So
yeah. And do you think you could handle it on your own? Like just the job of being a YouTuber, putting out content like that, can you do it on your own?
Production-wise, no. You need guys to shoot for you. I mean, I do edit my own things. I mean, I write it and I shoot it. Well, I have someone else shoot it when I'm in front of the camera, and I edit myself. So while I did that, now I have hiring other people to edit for me. But I mean, I can produce my sketches with me and my buddies, my team of friends. So no, you can never do it by yourself unless you have a tripod and you're shooting your sketches by yourself with just a tripod. Then you can do it that way. But that's not how I do it. So I definitely have a few guys around me that are dedicated to me as I am to them, and we shoot our sketches together.
Yeah, this is a big tip. And John, we'll talk about this in a sec, but this is a big tip for everyone on. If you actually want to get experience, like just volunteer, become a PA, go, do whatever they need to be on that creation. And then you can observe things that are going on and you can interact with people in that way. I actually had a friend reach out. He goes, I heard you had a conference. I'd love to be your next PA and your next shoot. I'm like, all right. He goes, I'll do it for free. Like I have all this other stuff. I says, that's fine, but I'll still pay you. So he came in and he was a PA. He was getting duct tape and all the stuff that we needed to put that out there, that production. And when he was around the right people and he was asking the right questions where it wasn't really intrusive, but it was more like a friend.
Right.
And then he goes, dude, he did that for a couple months and he comes back and says, hey, I have an idea for a YouTube channel. I want to pitch you. So he pitched me on the channel. I gave him time. I mean, he was giving me time. I gave him time.
Right.
I course corrected a few things. Today he has 10 million subscribers. He's crushing it with 4 different channels, so 10 million subscribers on 4 different channels.
Yeah.
And then he's pulling in millions a month. And I can tell you, if you do the hustle and you're trying to get into the space, the best way to do it is help people. And sometimes it's your friends, you go hold the camera for one of your friends as a YouTuber. Maybe you have the skill set of editing or thumbnail design or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, this is a business and you have to kind of get your foot in the door. And so what are the big tips for people if they're trying to get a foot in the door to YouTube today? So Big Jaw, we'll start with you and then go to Garrett and then Destroying. Like, what would you do if you had to start fresh from today? How would you put your foot in the door to get into the YouTube industry?
Figure out what content you want to make on YouTube, and immediately, depending on if it's like sketch comedy narrative like I do, you got to find a team. So like you said, it goes back to the people around you. My success is literally from the 2-3 homeboys I started with. If I called them to come shoot a sketch, they never was too busy. They never, even if they didn't want to do it, they still came, and vice versa. So like you said, this is all for free. We were doing it out of the love and respect for one another, and out of enjoyment of doing the content. So I would say you can't do it by yourself. So you got to have at least 1 or 2 other people that's dedicated to you. That believes in your vision and you believe in theirs. Ideally, for me, I would say find a couple people that do the same thing you do. So it benefits them to serve you, and it benefits you to serve them. So you gotta get into that mindset of helping before you're trying to get people to shoot your sketches or hold the camera to shoot your content. You gotta come into the idea of how can I help you?
Yeah, I love it.
If both of you guys feel that way, how can we help us? How can I help you? How can you help me? Then it's going to work.
Yeah, I agree with Joe.
Right.
I agree with Joe. I feel like you got to surround yourself with the right people. I know when I started, I had a homie that we was both trying to kind of, build YouTube channels and whatnot. So out of that same love and mutual respect for each other, we'd show up and help each other shoot. And, we were kind of on the same path. So that just kept each other motivated. Let's say one of us didn't want to do something one day. We'd be like, hey, bro, get right. Like, we gotta work. We gotta get this done.
It's almost like.
And are those guys succeeding right now too? Because you're still kind of. Oh yeah, man, that's the way to do it.
Yes.
It's almost like going to the gym. Like you just want to have someone there to support you when you're having your off days. Like when I started doing gaming content back in 2011, I started because another YouTuber encouraged a bunch of people to do what's called Together to the Top back then. And his name was Athene. He just encouraged people online, like his followers, like, hey, start a YouTube channel, it's worth it. And everyone started doing it. It was me and my 2 best friends doing it. And then, they ended up graduating from FIU and then becoming one's an accountant and one's a nurse. And then I stayed with it. And then I ended up finding other gamers in the space and we connected. And like, I realized I really like these guys. We get along really well. And then, they elevated me to create better content. And I elevated them and taught them everything I know. And now today, like, we're a solid group that we each have our own things, but we have a good friend group. I think that's super important in this space. Is like, collaborating with people that you want to be successful alongside you, and just having a good time. Like, I know this sounds crazy, but having fun is like one of the number 1 priorities for being a YouTuber. Because if you're not happy doing what you're doing, people will see it. Yeah, people will see it and they won't watch. Mm-hmm. They won't watch.
Right.
They'll see right through it. You can only fake the smile for so long until people are like, yo, this guy's miserable doing this. And you'll crash and burn.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, agreed. And I think that's the big thing too, is I've seen the biggest content creators on the planet and they always have their support team where they're like, hey, what about this idea? Right? We're going to try this. And they're actually helping each other instead of viewing each other as competition. you know, they're helping each other get to that next level. And I think that right there is one of those underlining secrets that a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to YouTube and YouTube success. And I found that even some of these content creators, they might not like creating content and they might build up a channel. I've seen them sell off to these other creators and then they pretty much handle it. And so these are big opportunities here, guys. And it's something that you can actually do. You just have to put forth the effort. And I would say, hey, volunteer, do whatever you can, absorb, you know, be a learner. And you can take it to that next level. Now, let's kind of jump in. And I think a lot of people, I mean, you have questions, you can put it in the questions. We'll kind of jump to those. But I think the big thing would be, how do you start? We talked about, hey, what would you do if you're starting now and you kind of surround yourself, but tactically, what would you do to prepare? How would you research what you're interested in and what you'd do there? Anybody have thoughts on that, of how you would actually get going? On this?
I feel like you gotta do what you're kind of passionate about, because just like Jobless Gamer said, if you're not happy doing it, people are gonna see right through that. So pick a niche that you're passionate about, that you could wake up every single day and do and enjoy, and take it from there, kind of is my opinion.
Right. I seen real quick, Destroying, bro. That's crazy. I actually just came across your page, bro.
That's dope, bro. I appreciate it.
I've been seeing your page for the longest. It's like the football one-on-ones and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm really into football, but I didn't click on it yet because I kept saying, well, I'm gonna click on that eventually. I'm gonna click on it eventually.
He's a procrastinator viewer. He's like,
right,
I'm gonna click on it one day.
If I'm on my computer, I'm usually editing, and I try to stay focused. And his video will be number one receiver in the world in high school or college, going against such a pro, and it's like 13 minutes. I'm like, if I watch a little bit of it, I'm going to sit here and watch all one-on-ones, and then 13 minutes later goes into an hour later. So I said I'm gonna watch it eventually because I got work to do. So I watched it like 2 days ago, and I didn't know I didn't know you were the one that won the whole Logan Paul race. It makes sense. So now I'm seeing you today. Pleasure meeting you, brother. Salute.
You too, man.
I've seen Jobless Garrett's face a few times as well. But I'm assuming you're a kicker, you're a football player, you love the sport, and you documented what you love to do, and it became something, you know. And I'm not sure how you started, but I definitely saw that. And like you said, something that you love to do, whether it's electronics, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, whether it's gaming, just dive right in. I love film. I went to school for it. Filmmaking is what I want to do since I was about 16 years old. So it's easy for me to get up and think of an idea, write it, shoot it, edit it, and put it out. That's fun to me. Before that, I was a bodyguard, and before that, I was a school teacher. And I was good at both. And it's something I didn't want to do for the rest of my life. This is something I want to do for the rest of my life, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's in the movie theater or whether it's just a streaming site. But I love to do it. So I agree. You got to love to do it. And that's easy. When you love to do it, it's easy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, whether it's one view or millions of views, right? It's like you just love to create that content. And I think that where most people come in, I've had more people that would do this approach. Like, I want to become a content creator. I want to become a YouTuber. Okay, what's your idea? Well, they make a whole bunch of money. I want to be the next Logan Paul, or I want to be the next Mr. Beast. I'm like, but what do you want to do? And then that's what they start doing, right? And they're like, oh no, I'm not totally into it. And then they do something else, and then they do something else, and they do something else. And they're just going from idea to idea, trying to make this the opportunity, instead of taking a step back and said, man, what am I passionate about? And how can I actually bring value to that community that would be passionate about the same thing? And when you can do that, that's when you grow an audience. And I want everyone, this is something I want everyone to understand. I used audience development to fund a project, a TV series that I'm producing right now. We're in season 2 of the TV series. We were able to grow an audience from 0 people and break the all-time crowdfunding record in film and television. We beat out brands like Mystery Science Theater 3000 and Veronica Mars. And we did it because we used content to connect with people that are passionate about what we're passionate about. And we were able to raise over $10 million, and we were able to get crowdfunded. We did season 1. And what's amazing is it's now self-sustaining, where we're in season 2, and it literally all the money that came in went towards season 2. And it's something that I'm super passionate about. But this is not just localized to YouTube. This goes across the board. You know, we have 1.4 million followers on Facebook, another 730,000 on YouTube. But our key was getting people into our own ecosystem. And so, you know, our TV show is on our own app, and we own the ecosystem. And we, you know, we're some of the, you know, in the top 20 most downloaded apps of 2020. And what was really amazing from it is we own that content, and we're able to connect with our audience, and we're able to connect with them in merch and all the other stuff to fund what we're passionate about, which is creating a TV show about the life of Jesus Christ. And that's what we've done. It's called The Chosen. You can check it out. But it's totally disruptive. I can tell you it never worked until we actually understood how to create content online and how to get people to want to follow something that you're passionate about. Right. And I think that's at the end of the day, what everyone has to do. It doesn't matter if it's freaking Pokemon, football, comedy, gaming. You have to find what you're passionate about. And that's what that brings people in. And if you have a strong messaging where you're actually creating content that's really easy to understand, but easier to share. And I don't mean share by hitting the share button. I'm talking about people talking about it. That's a slam dunk, you know, and that's where you can actually get people coming back, getting that value each week.
Yes. Yes. I love that. Speaking of like having the passion or our interest, that could be an interest of others, many others. Y'all heard, I'm sure you guys heard of Johan the dog or the husky.
Yep.
My friend showed me that about a year ago, and this is a guy just filming his dog, bro. And he has so many followers, so many views. And that goes to show that people who love dogs, if you want to do a video or a page about loving your dog, basically, there's millions of people that will want to watch that.
Yep.
So instead of looking, like you said before, instead of looking for what's going to make me rich, what's going to make me the biggest YouTuber, find out what you love to do, what you're passionate about, and put that online. It could be you watching crickets. That sounds silly, but maybe someone loves crickets, maybe
even birds. Yeah, anything. Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So find out what you love to do. You know what I'm saying? And then find a way to, you know, film that and put it up on YouTube.
Pretty much.
Like, you know what's really weird is
there's something for everybody.
Oh, go ahead.
Huh?
Garrett.
Go, Derral.
No, go ahead. I'll go after you.
I was saying that, like, if you like it, there's most likely other people that like it. You won't probably have the biggest audience that also likes to watch crickets or birds, but like, if you're passionate about it, someone's gonna watch it, and then you can build a little community from that. So just be passionate about what you want to do, and if it's hard for you, which I saw a question was like, how do you find your passion? That's something that we can't answer. That's something you have to find within yourself, like what you enjoy. So that's go ahead, Derral.
Yeah, and I want to end on this because we're at the end of this panel. It's been a great panel, been 30 minutes, but your passion might be elevators. Okay. You might go find that elevator that's out there. There's a content creator that gets hundreds of millions of video views, posting his experience in an elevator and just showing he's just interested in it. And hundreds of millions of video views, and he makes a living out of that. Come on, man.
Hey boys, we're doing it wrong.
Man,
elevators.
Because people are. I want to go to the page. I want to see.
What's cool about it is when you go and start reading the comments and seeing who's watching it. This is actual fact because we deep dive into kind of cultural phenomenon. It's a lot of people that are autistic that's watching it. There's some satisfaction that's there of going into that elevator and seeing that, which is really, really powerful. And the person that kind of brought me aware of this is the trends manager, Kevin at YouTube. And I was just like blown away. I'm like, elevators, that's it. You just write it up. There's no talking, no nothing. And they just film it. And they're doing, close to 1 billion video views, which is bananas. Okay, Kate, we just have 2 seconds. Any last advice, less than 10 seconds apiece, and then we have to close up. So.
Yeah, be consistent. Number one, YouTube, find your passion and work hard. I mean, like eventually it takes time for things to work out. So let's give it a shot.
Don't chase views. We all love them. Do not chase views. Do not put your product up and then take it down because you didn't get the kind of views that you thought you wanted in the first 2 hours. Mm-hmm. Leave it up there. That's advice, but that's not a standard law. But that's just what I would advise you. Just trust the process, put it up there, trust your art, and put it up there, and just let people like it or don't like it. Because sometimes they might come back around 2, 3, 4 months later and then love what they didn't like before. So you can leave it up there, trust the process, and love yourself.
Destroying. Did you want to say anything?
Oh, did he leave?
Okay, Tron.
Oh.
Okay, so thank you very much. Seriously, we want to thank our influencers who logged on with us, signed on with us. Thank you for taking time out of your day to give this information, valuable information to our youth, to the whole community, entire nation for that matter. We have folks logged on from everywhere. And by the way, so during the we have a portion coming up, right? We have a presentation coming up, a company. I'll just tell you who they are. Why don't I do that? Microsoft is coming up next. While they're presenting, influencers, if you don't mind, just look at those chats. We have some very specific questions about what software should I use? What kind of resources are out there? What are some of the new platforms? Look through those, and then for our viewers out there, once we're done with the upcoming presentation, we actually have another session that we're going to cover entrepreneurship, monetization, and during that session we'll get into more of your questions. Okay, but again, thank you to our influencers so much. Big Jaw, Balvin, that's a funny one. Destroying the Antonio Brown story is hysterical. Jobless Gamer, and it is impossible to laugh at those videos. So thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, folks, we're now going to hear from, drumroll please, I already said it, Microsoft, the company presenter and panelists. Again, just a heads up, be mindful of your allocated speaking time because we do want to make sure that we stay within a window, just moving forward here. So if you start to teeter along the lines of running over time, you may hear a specific song that'll sound something like this. Yeah, I didn't play that on my guitar. But you'll hear a little song if you reach 30 seconds. It's just our polite way of saying, hey, you got 30 seconds left, and then you'll see my face, all right? Are y'all tired of seeing my face? I hope not. All right, so again, next up, Microsoft, we have Denise Mendez. Denise Mendez is a principal software engineer in Microsoft's mixed reality group. Proud UF graduate, whoop, whoop, go get it. Did stints at Magic Leap, get this, NASA, and the Mars mission before landing at Microsoft. Her mission is to create a revolution in education by bringing mixed reality and AI technology into schools to grow a diverse generation of scientists and problem solvers. Now, we are going to play an important video. So watch this video, and then the next voice you will hear will be from none other than Denise Mendez. Let's watch that video.
Hello.
Hey, Denise, how are you? And welcome to the conference. You are on and the floor is yours.
I don't know if you have my slides real quick, but watching the social media influencers and taking a look at what they're started has a lot to do with what I want to share with you today, which has to do with the adoption curve of technology. looking at all the leaders in technology, most of these YouTube stars that you just saw, they started in around 2015 with their YouTube channels. They were actually early adopters of YouTube. They weren't the innovators, they were innovators in YouTube. The innovators were the tech folks that made this, the Microsoft people, Bill Gates, Apple, the people in technology that are worth billions of dollars. The early adopters are actually worth millions of dollars. The later you are in the adoption of technology and understanding the technology, the less money you make. At the beginning of this curve, it's very well known. Curve been around since the 1960s. They use this in business and marketing to gain adoption, to understand product and market fit. So at the beginning of the curve, you get to ride the wave of technology. Where we are now in YouTube and this world of social media and influence is actually on the tail end of it. The production quality, the things that you have to do to really succeed in this field requires a lot of money and investment, which I heard a lot of the folks from the panel talking about, the crew that they have and the producers and the editing and all the things that they have to do. And if we go to the next slide, we can take a look at top 10 YouTube, top 8 YouTube money makers. And Jeffree Star started in 2003, not even on YouTube. YouTube started around 2005. He started in MySpace, playing around with the technology, learning about what to do with the technology, what to make work, what to make not work. He's actually the highest grossing social media influencer at $200 million in this space of YouTube. PewDiePie, Dan TDM, Ryan's toy review in 2015, that boy is worth $32 million, but he started in 2015, but he was the first to create a kids channel. The girl that came after him, Nastaya, she has twice the viewers that Ryan has and makes half the money that he has because she came later. The later in the adoption curve, the harder it is to break into the market. And if you go into the next slide, what happens to break into the next market or bring things up a notch is to learn how to code. How do you become one of these innovators and early adopters? If you go to the next slide, we'll talk about like attributes that you have to have. All these guys that you just heard from, they talked about being curious, trying things out, learning, failing, trying again. This didn't work, that didn't work. My comedy skit didn't work. Let me add this to it. Let me add that to it. They tested, they tinker, they repeated over and over again. Some of the folks that were on this call were doing this for 10 years. So this is not something that they learned overnight. This is something that they worked at and hustled at. And these are things that you have to do in order to move forward. And if we go into the next slide, what I want to share with you is at the beginning of, we're missing a slide. At the beginning of every adoption curve, where we are now in mixed reality, virtual reality, augmented reality, these kinds of headsets that are coming up now, the marketplace, the new tools that we built to create these new ways of connecting with people in 3 dimensions and 4 dimensions. This is the wave of the future. Learning about that wave now, getting on board that wave now is where you can be that Jeffree Star with the $200 million versus trying to compete in a crowded marketplace right now for, a couple $100,000 here and there a year, which is a lot of money, mind you. But the competition's really fierce. You got to try really hard. You got to do a lot of innovation. So, something for you to get started. If you want to win a chance for a mentoring session, a one-on-one technical mentoring session with me, someone with 20 years of experience in technical industry, doing crazy, crazy things and seeing the tip of technology and where it's going, which is just insane. Right to the conference. If you could build an app in AR, MR, or VR, what would it be and why? And guess what? If you don't know what AR, MR, and VR, be curious, figure it out, and write an essay, and the lucky winner will get some time with me. And ladies, I want to see something from you as well. So with that, I hope I didn't take up too much of your time. Enjoy the rest of your conference. This is awesome.
Thank you so much, Denise. And yes, I agree. Ladies, women, young ladies, girls, this industry is wide open for you. The STEM industry, as a matter of fact, we need more women in STEM, data science, digital fluency, you name it, we need you. So thank you so much, Denise. We greatly appreciate your time and you being here. Thank you again. Wonderful information. Okay, now we're going to dig into getting your online channel started and monetized. By the way, we're going to try to leave a good 10 minutes or so for all of you to ask your questions. So for those of you that are on, make sure to drop your questions in our Q&A. add those questions, okay? Here back with us is Derral Eves and our amazing speakers, our amazing influencers, and a few other surprises that we brought along with us that kind of work in the behind the scenes. So Derral, I'm gonna pass the mic back over to you, and to our influencers who are on with us, I'm gonna pass the vision right back over to you. So thank you very much.
Love it. So this is where I get the most excited about the industry, is really looking at opportunities to create content and engage in a way that you can actually build a business off of your creation. And this is where I want everyone to really pay attention. And Denise mentioned this a little bit earlier. There's so many different opportunities there. The most underutilized opportunity out there is for female creators. And I want to give you an example when it comes to money, if we can. Can we do that when it comes to money? I'm going to share my screen real quick, because if that's cool, if I can share my screen, I want to share with you a channel that is crushing it. Okay, so this is Chad Wildclay. He wanted to create a kind of a basically the Ninja Turtles type of content, or Power Rangers type of content for YouTube. So he created the Spies Ninja Network. Now you can see that it has 13 million subscribers, and Chad gets like 4.4 billion videos. That's with a B. Okay. Now here's the interesting thing that most people don't know is they do know his wife, but I want to show you this. His wife almost has 10 million subscribers. Okay. And she is about 3.6 billion. Now, what's interesting from this more than anything else is from the type of content that Chad's producing, and it's pretty much identical. Okay. Identical in every aspect, because it's like one story that travels on her channel and then on another channel. And to get the whole story, you have to go into it, which is brilliant marketing and a brilliant strategy. But here's the thing. Chad makes a certain amount of money, and V does 3x the amount of money that Chad does on his channel. And the reason why, and this is the whole reason why, is because that the female audience is underexposed right now, and underutilized is a better word. And they need more female creators out there. They need more female creators to create content. And there's brands that are willing to put 3x more money for a female creator. And I don't see these female creators really jumping on board. So if you're a female, this is the industry for you. There's a lot of opportunities out there, and especially when it comes to content creation. So if you want to be in front of the camera, there's a lot of money there. Now, I want everyone to know that this is not about becoming famous. It's about creating something that's bigger than just you. And this is starting with content. And I really like what Ja was saying. You know, you got to be passionate about it. You got to follow what you want to do, and then surround yourself by the right people. That's what success actually looks like. But I also want to shift your mindset, because it's about money. At the end of the day, the more money that you have, the more that you can create. And if you leverage that money, you can grow and scale your business. And I want everyone to realize that it doesn't take that many people that are passionate about what you're doing. If you have 1,000 people that are passionate about what you're doing and they pay you $1,000 a year, that's $1 million. Now, imagine if that was 10, 15, 20, that's where it can really expand. And you might think, well, I can't do that. Well, you're not doing it all in one take. There might be a little here, a little there, and that's what it averages out. And I know I work with some of the biggest content creators in the world. And I also work with the smaller content creators in the world that actually understand this principle about leveraging their passionate audience and building a business. So what should you do? How do you actually get started? So to be a part of the YouTube Partner Program, you have to basically start uploading videos and get people to watch it. You have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watched, okay? But I'm here to tell you that ad revenue is just a drop in the bucket, okay? It doesn't matter how much you're making on ads that's played before your video, even with V. The true opportunity is leveraging that audience to either become a consumer of a product, or download an app, or, buy your merch, or like Jeffree Star did, do your makeup line, and you can really start crushing it in multiple opportunities, but you have to see it for what it is. So getting started on YouTube, yeah, there's a lot of resources out there to, hey, this is how you start a YouTube channel. This is how you upload videos. In fact, I have a channel that I occasionally put, when I have extra time, a video to give you a tip or two. But what's really important is that you have business objectives and they coincide with your creative objectives. And I really like what Big Jaw was saying. Is like, don't go chasing the views. And my same concept would be, don't go chasing the creation too. Like, this is a business and you need to make business driven decisions. And part of that is dealing back with, that creation process. Like, it's about people enjoying that content and finding value where they want to come back and check in with you over and over and over again. And this can work in any industry. It can work in any niche. All you got to do is have people that find value in your content, whether you're inspiring them, you're educating them, you're entertaining them. You just got to look at what you're doing there. Now, I want to give you another example, and this is the example I shared a little bit earlier. So if I can share my screen again, that would be great. So let me request again. Hopefully it'll let me do it. Okay. So here's the example I was sharing with you before. So this is, I want you to meet Matt. Matt is a tow truck driver that people get stuck. We live in rural Utah and they get stuck in weird places, and he just takes his Jeep out there to rescue. Now, Matt is a content strategist in the sense of he understands what's good content and what people are looking for, because it's not necessarily about him doing the crazy jobs, but it's about friends doing good and helping people. Like, that's the essence of this channel. Okay. Now let's talk about the monetization. So the monetization, you can see, and I got to put a disclaimer out, right? I own a big portion of this channel, so I can't really do it. But so this is today's video. Okay, or yesterday's video. We already have 279,000 views on this. Now, what's interesting is there's different type of verticals. Okay, so Jobless Garrett, he's doing gaming and Destroying's doing, some basketball content. And then, we have Big Jaws doing comedy. All of them have different type of advertisers that want to advertise on these videos. And so this one right here, the people that want to advertise are like Can-Am, big truck dealerships. And so they're throwing a lot of money down. CPMs were at like $21 per thousand. $21 per thousand is what we're actually getting on the ad revenue. Okay. That is crazy when you get, maybe 15 to 18 million views a month, and it's going on from there. Now, that's not where it gets interesting. So what's interesting about it is there's a whole dynamic, and there's all these opportunities. And I think everyone, first off, thinks shirts and merch. Hey, you got to get your merch, right? And I can tell you that I'm the last person that ever wants to do merch first, because I'm like, is there a product that people would want to buy? Okay. And so we actually came up with a product. This is the video that we actually did. You see this rope right here, this yellow rope. He uses a rope in recoveries. So we actually decided, hey, let's get our own rope, and we'll call it Matt's Recovery Rope. Okay. And we'll put it in the store. And guess what? The retail thing, we did a Kickstarter kind of esque type of campaign. And it was like $299. And guys, we sold over $800,000 in just a few weeks of selling that rope to his passionate friends. And every single day, we're doing anywhere between $6,000 to $8,000 a day selling that rope. That's a lot more profit than selling a t-shirt that you're only making like 12 bucks. Okay. And that's what I want you to think of, is there's opportunities, but what you got to do is look at all aspects of the content creation and figuring out what people want. I want to share another example, and I'll just do it on YouTube, and then we'll jump into questions with our influencers here today. But this one is probably the most subtle example of an integration that I've seen across the platform. And I'll share my screen one more time, and then we'll jump into it. But I want to introduce you to Zach. Okay, Zach has a channel called Jerry Rig Everything. He was a cell phone repair technician that decided to show how people to repair their cell phones. Okay. What's interesting is he actually, in his videos, he actually has his tools that he has here. He never really talks about his tools, but you can see in here that you can buy the different products and you can buy different things from here. And then you have the toolkit right here. Okay. Well, this is what's interesting is this company right here that's making this toolkit is owned by Zach, Jerry Rig Everything. Okay. This is his company. Okay. And he actually found a company that did white labeling, and he actually formed another company that was just this product. And he doesn't say, go buy my toolkit. He doesn't say, go buy this bona fide hardware. That's just his brand. And he just puts it in his videos. Okay. And it's very positioned in his videos itself, but not once does he say, go buy my stuff. Okay. Now here's what's interesting from that is, because it's an Amazon program, you get a percentage of everything that's sold through your link. So if someone goes and buys that, or they don't, and they go buy a refrigerator, you're going to get a percentage of the sale for 24 hours. Okay, that's called affiliate marketing, and that's really, really interesting. Well, this is available in terms of service at Amazon, but you can do a double dip. If you own the product that you're pushing traffic to, when they buy something, they might buy your toolkit and then maybe a refrigerator, you get a percentage of sales as an affiliate for both of those products, regardless if it's yours. And then two, you can actually sell your own product. And he has done well over 8 figures a year with that strategy without even saying anything in his videos. Just having a link in the description is crazy. Okay. And two, he's made millions of dollars through Amazon and doing it. And I want to give you one other tactic and strategy. This is kind of where my weird mind always goes. It always does. But I had a musician client and I says, hey, what if we don't put our music on iTunes until a week after the video? They're like, you insane? Everybody's going to get it on iTunes. I'm like, no. What if we put it on Amazon and we're selling, for $1? We'll never make any money on that. I'm like, let's do it. But what we'll do is use that affiliate code and make 7% on everything that we sell. So I convinced him to do it. And they said, we'll do it, but we want to see the results from it. So we had a music video that was a parody of Star Wars, and people would jump on and buy their dollar song or see if it was available that was there. But because we sent them on Amazon, people were buying Chewbacca costumes for like $1,200. They bought all this random stuff and they made $62,000 that just came from recommending people to buy something on Amazon when they were supposed to go and buy that song. And what's interesting is they only sold like 20,000 songs, but they made a lot more money. So $20,000 versus $62,000. And it didn't really disrupt it. They're not going to get on the charts in iTunes. This is a business. And you got to look for money-making opportunities. And that's where the data comes in. So what I want to do now is take the rest of the time. We're going to bring our panel on and we're going to ask them about their strategies of really monetizing and leveraging this. And we can have a great discussion. So Garrett, do you want to go up first on this?
Sure. Yeah. For me, I've always been, and I don't know if the right word is like against merch, but there was a time period in YouTube many years ago where every single YouTuber was selling merch. And a lot of the quality wasn't great. And slowly but surely nowadays, we've evolved into a merchandise line that YouTubers have to drop. Now it's much more than like before, with like there's a t-shirt with like a silly little picture on it. But nowadays, like YouTubers are dropping merch lines or selling slime in stores or, going to the extra length or like the tools you just explained where they always go for much more bigger products than the simple one-offs. What I've noticed, even like looking at Jimmy or Mr. Beast, like you could do the merch thing. Like he has a really great merch thing he does, and it always does really well because he does limited runs. And then even going bigger than that, like the burger.
Hey, well, let's stop. That was me. I'll take all credit for that.
It's great. So
I
now,
made him a lot of money.
And
on
now
that.
he has his burgers that he does with the pop-up, the cloud kitchens. So like it's always, YouTubers are evolving on how they're monetizing their brands and using the push that we have as individuals and influencing larger audiences do crazy things, but there's always ways you can make more than what you're currently making on YouTube. And I think that's the beauty of what we do. So
yeah, I love it. Big Jaw or Destroying? Any thoughts?
So I've kind of just started to kind of dabble in this. Obviously, I went through my little merch phase and whatnot. And I mean, the results were great, but at the same time, I feel like I want to tap into an audience outside of just my brand.
Yeah.
So since I'm big in the sports world, I'm working on a few products that I could market out to obviously my supporters and who watch me and who are into sports, but maybe even people who don't watch me or whatever it may be. So right now I'm working on a few products. One of them is going to be like a subscription-based workout plan, because everyone's always asking me, how do I get faster? How do I jump as high as you? Blah, blah, this and that. So that's kind of one. Another thing is kind of a sports bag to tie in with that can, uses a lot of the gear or bands or the different products I use on a daily, just packaged for my supporters. So, I mean, I'm jumping on a train a little late, but I mean, better late than never, right?
Yeah, better late than never. That's the mindset.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you have an advantage now because you have a lot of data, right? You know exactly what your people want, and now all you got to do is provide that. And I would 100% try to figure out something digital. And I know there's so many people that want to improve their game, like 100%. And they're looking for every little edge. In fact, like I have a son that is out shooting the ball, for 4 or 5, 6 hours a night. And he's obsessed with learning about, okay, how do I do this or that? And he's on YouTube. He has his little phone out there, and then he does it for 6 hours or whatever, so.
That's what I'm hoping to tap in. And I've trained with a lot of pro guys, a lot of guys who are at the top of their game and very well respected, and everyone knows they're the best at what they do. So I've learned a lot of things from them. So I feel like just kind of packaging something into a digital product that I could market to people would be a good idea that I'm actually working on right now. But it takes time.
Big John, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I sell merch and I like it. I enjoy it. I think it just with what I do as far as my dialogue stands out a lot. Like my terminology I use in my sketches and my dialogue and my scripts. So a lot of times it might be a one-liner or a slogan or something, a phrase I say all the time throughout my sketches, and I make a T-shirt out of it. And it's something that people like just to keep tangible that they can wear on their shirt. Sometimes it's more than it's a saying that anybody can use. I have a shirt called Chuff, where it's just I'm chubby buff. I'm not necessarily fat, but I'm not buff as I used to be when I was younger, or this not even younger. This now when I was in more better shape. So, as a stand-up comic, I have a bit online on stage where I say, I realized that I'm Chuff. I had to self-evaluate myself in the mirror one day with all my clothes off, and I realized I'm Chuff. I'm chubby buff. And crowd goes crazy, they laugh about it, so you guys are smirking. So I made that into a shirt. Now I would say it's even bigger than just my brand. You can wear that shirt and not even know who I am. Mm-hmm. So and all on top of that, I wanted to get a candy. I'm working on trying to get a gummy candy thing called Yammies. I have it. If you're familiar with my content, and yams is a word I use a lot when it describes a woman's butt, or this a voluptuous woman. So I'll say she got yams, and then so I have I want a candy that kind of it's called Yammies. So I'm working on getting that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some.
That sounds fire, man. Not gonna lie.
Whenever you make them, I'll forget.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, man. So this and I think that's dope too. So, but digital is a way to go. I also agree with that. I would love to. People always ask me questions about shooting sketches. How do we come up with an idea so fast, or if it's that fast? Maybe like a tutorial, maybe a master class or something like that. I just haven't put it together yet, but that's something that I think that could be valuable, and not just to make money, even though this is a money game, like you said, but also just to help other people behind me that might encourage them to hone their skill as a creator, as a storyteller. And so that's something that I would be looking into as far as a digital product that I think could do well.
That's great. All right, so I want to transition. We're at the bottom of the time of our panel here, but like working with brands, who have you had an opportunity to work with brands, and what does that actually look like? And what does that translate to? I think this is where most people get shocked about how much brands are willing to pay for the right audience and be integrated in. Does any of you want to kind of tackle that?
Sure. Right. You want like monetary numbers too, or what do you?
I think just you could be as vague as you want, but just more of the opportunity and how it compares to other ad revenue, maybe.
Yeah, sure. For me, the most recent brand integration I did was speaking of candy, was Butterfinger. Butterfinger had a promotion earlier this year, which is really awesome. They just want to promote the Butterfinger bar in collaboration they're doing with Halo that's coming out this year. And they just want me to take pictures with the Butterfinger bar, and that's it. That's all I had to do. And a lot of times these brands will come along and they want to work with influencers that, you know, clearly have a liking towards the product. And like, how can you say no to chocolate or candy? So I work with Butterfinger bar, and, you know, it's sometimes these companies come with you with thousands of dollars, usually 5-figure numbers, to just take a picture or pretty much endorse the product. And for me, it was like, okay, like I've worked with Converse in the past. I've worked with Butterfinger bar. I've worked with G Fuel, as you guys can see behind me. Just different companies that just want to be involved with YouTubers and streamers to promote their product, because they know that, you know, the people that normally watch your content also enjoy that stuff. So, you know, collaborating with companies that align well with your brand is normally in your best interest because they're providing financial support. And it also just looks good to be able to say, like, hey, I've worked with Butterfinger, you know, like as one example. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I've worked with Manscaped, the razor. Yeah, they just, and because I do like narrative, a lot of times I'll incorporate the product in a sketch, you know, and so I'll literally write a sketch that's surrounded about the product. You know, one sketch where I had a lady. I think one of the slogans is it's Manscaped, but women use it too because it's a close shave. It's a real neat close shave that doesn't nick. And so in the sketch, my lady kind of we broke up, but she took my Manscaped with her when she left. And so I did the whole sketch about her, me getting my Manscaped back from her. And so they loved it. It did well. It was funny. People liked it. Got a good amount of views. And so yeah, Manscaped, they continue to work with me. They like I said, like he said, they'll give you $5,000 just to post it in the video, you know. But yeah, it can, or I'm sure there's companies that pay a lot more depending on your following, depending on your influence, you know. So yeah.
I've worked with a few brands in the past. My most recent one is probably with DraftKings. They're kind of getting big into the whole sports betting thing now.
Yeah, they are.
And I mean, as you could obviously tell, I do a lot of sports stuff. So they thought my brand aligned really well with them. So like they'd pay me for like a minute integration in a video, upwards of the 5-figure range. And I mean, I think it's a good opportunity, just like Garrett said, just align yourself with these brands and be able to say, hey, I worked with them, kind of build a resume of different companies you've worked with. And it's good to kind of, I mean, do your best job whenever you do promote these brands, because long-term relationships are the best. Maybe later down the road, you may have another campaign and they consider you again and so forth. So I try to build long-term relationships and just give the brands the best work that I can. You know?
Right.
Yeah. And in closing, because we're just kind of getting at the, let's see, are we at the right time? Let's see, trying to find the schedule.
Yeah, I think
we're getting there. I just want to tell you, sometimes when the brands come and approach you, it might be looking for options. So 5 years ago, I had a brand reach out to me and says, hey, we'll pay you, quite a bit of money to promote our product. And I said, well, have you thought about doing an affiliate program where we can do a percentage? And I did 5 videos and I opted out not to do that brand deal, but to push an affiliate program that they just introduced because I encouraged them to do it. And to this day, I'll get anywhere between $12,000 to $15,000 a month that on videos that I made back then. And I haven't even made any other videos outside of that. And it just keeps on giving because it's like found in search and people get it and they buy it, they install it,
Right.
boom. That's where you can do it. So like, don't just kind of put yourself into that thing. Okay, that's what it is. Look at this as a business and try to figure out the best way for you to really succeed on the monetization side too. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for the panel. Thank everyone for coming on. We'll go ahead and throw it back. But guys, this is a business and you can do different aspects to grow it. But it's all about really leveraging and scaling this content creation business.
For sure.
Sounds good. Thank you guys for having me on here, man.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you
Ron.
guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you so much. Can we give our influencers a round of applause, please? They did this totally free. I mean, this is all volunteer. You know, we're so grateful that you took time out of your day to talk to our youth, our young ones. That's right, DJ. Let's give it up for our volunteers. That's right. Thank you so much, our volunteers, our influencers. Thank you. And Derral, thank you so much. We can't thank you enough for moderating and just giving us so much information. You guys wanted it. This is the career that you're most interested in. So we're trying to deliver as best as we can. All right. So now we're going to move right along to the next presenter. We have another incredible brand. We have the one and only Amazon. As a matter of fact, I just ordered something from Amazon not too long ago. Miranda is here from Amazon. She is the senior program manager for the Amazon Future Engineer program. She graduated from Yale with a degree in African Studies. She is joining us all the way from Seattle. Wow, Miranda, but it's virtual, of course. So we're going to play a video and then hear from Miranda Lewis. Let's watch that video.
Gosh, that's amazing.
$40,000 scholarship.
Thank you, Amazon.
Thank you, Amazon.
Thank you so much, Amazon, for turning my dreams into reality.
Jaden, you got it!
Well, I couldn't have done it without each and every one of you. Wow! Yeah.
Thank you so much for showing that video. So hi, everyone. I'm Miranda, and as was already mentioned, I am the Senior Program Manager at Amazon, and I really have the distinct pleasure of running our college scholarship program. So what you just saw is some of our students who just found out that they won our college scholarship award. So our award is a $40,000 college scholarship. That's $10,000 per year of college. And all of our students also get a guaranteed paid summer software engineering internship at Amazon. So I know that a lot of you who are on this call are really passionate about potentially exploring the possibility of becoming a YouTuber one day, but I'm just going to give a plug for going to college and getting a degree in computer science. Of course, I think that's important because that's what I spend my time doing. But the reality is that computer science is one of the highest paying professions, and it is a career field where there is just extreme demand from companies like Amazon, like YouTube. You could be a YouTuber, but you could also be working behind the scenes at a place like YouTube and building all of the things that are kind of happening behind the scenes that make all of that awesome work happen. And you can also, if you're in it for the money, this is definitely a field that you might want to enter into. And we want to help students out who are interested in following that pathway and are interested in going to college, but might not yet have the funding that they need to go. So like I said, our award's $40,000. Our students get an internship at Amazon, and all of the students who win this award are financial needs eligible. So if you are planning to go to college and you aren't sure exactly how you're going to make that work for yourself financially, then I definitely encourage you to apply for this award. If you are interested in computer science, please do apply. We've got the eligibility requirements up on the page here. You do have to have taken taken at least one computer science class. That really could be anything. You know, it could be an AP class. It could be you did dual enrollment with a local college, or it could just be an introductory class. As long as you've taken any computer science class in high school, you're eligible. And you do need to have a 3.0 GPA, and you have to be planning to go get a degree in computer science. You can start out at a 2-year college as long as you're planning to transfer to get a 4-year degree. And the awesome thing about this award is after you do start college, you get to come work at Amazon, and you could come work at Amazon and focus on things like building out our Alexa devices or working on some of the really groundbreaking technology with our Amazon Web Services, which is the cloud that powers a lot of the internet that you guys might be looking at. Or you could be working on our Amazon.com retail site, or working on all of the technology that goes behind the times when you order something and it gets delivered to your door a couple of hours later. If you aren't a high school senior yet, and you might be interested in trying this out, and I think we've got some people on this call who are like really creative, really passionate about music, maybe aren't yet interested in computer science, I want you to go to our website, amazonfutureengineer.com, and check out a program that we've got going on right now called Your Voice's Power. You can actually use code. You'll learn it all on the tool. You don't need to know anything before you go in. You'll use code to make remixes to Pharrell's latest song with Jay-Z called Entrepreneur. I think the song will be like really relevant to a lot of people, just the message that it sends. And then you can actually remix it and make your own song. And of course, we've got a competition going. If you make a remix to it, you're eligible for some really fun prizes. So if that sounds like you, definitely check that out. If we have people who are in college, go check out our jobs website. This is like the #1 time that we're recruiting for college students. So if that sounds like you, there's tons and tons of jobs at Amazon in a ton of different categories. So go check those out on our jobs website and consider coming and interning with us or working for us full time. So thank you all so much. Yeah.
Miranda, thank you. And by the way, you know what? I gave you a short intro, but I can't intro you like you can. So if you don't mind, just kind of tell us, how did you get into the to the business? You know, what was your route? Because obviously, graduating from Yale says one thing, right? Of course. But how did you get into the industry now?
Yeah, that's such a good question. It's been, I think the learning from when I look at my career is that obviously my degree doesn't look on paper like it's related at all to what I'm doing. But getting a degree in college really can open up doors for you. So I went to college. I had a real passion for helping people, and that started out for me by moving to Africa. I lived in Kenya for 3 years. Mimi ninasema Kiswahili, which means I speak Swahili, which is the national language of Kenya. And I really started my career like working in basically the nonprofit space. While I was there, I picked up some kind of technology skills, and then really had the experience of being a woman in tech and going to work at tech startups back in the US and really feeling, oh, wow, like sometimes I'm the only woman in the room and feeling frustrated by that. I'm wanting to fix that. And then looking around and being like, wait, I'm a white woman and there's no Black people at all in this room. And there's no Latina people at all in this room. And there's no Indigenous people in this room. And wanting to fix that really like at the level of computer science and software engineering. And that was kind of my door to Amazon and to doing this work that now I'm super passionate about.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Miranda. And you guys heard it. I didn't say it. She said it. Go to college, get that degree. It's So, hey, we didn't pay her to say that. I promise you, we did not pay her to say that. So, Miranda, thank you so much.
Yeah,
We
of
greatly
course.
appreciate your time.
I
Thank
really
you.
hope that we can help some of you guys pay for college. I forgot to say is the application does close on February 18th. So you still have plenty of time to apply. Everyone is going to submit their application in the last minute. That's fine. But just start your application now because it does have a teacher recommendation. So don't make your teacher fill out their side of things in the last second. You can do that part. So, all right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Miranda. We greatly appreciate it. And you know what? I think that's a perfect segue into our next conversation.
Yes.
Now we're going to hear a little bit about digital branding, SEO, just a conglomerate of different topics and themes here. We have our very own from Broward College, right? Miranda talks about college, so it's interesting that now we're hearing from one of our professors. Professor Daniel Shears from Broward College is on with us. Professor Shears, I'm going to pass you the floor and just take it away and give us whatever information you have for us. I know that the students and youth in the community is going to take notes on it. So Professor Shears, the floor is yours, and thank you again for being here.
Oh, thank you, Tron. Hey, everybody. Listen, you know, all this greatness and amazingness here, I'm telling you, I'm like blown away, totally blown away. I wish I could work with some of the people on here. Well, first, you know, Miranda was saying that it's really important that people go to college. And I know that many, many people on here learned on the job, got experience in the real world. But I'm here to tell you about some of the skills that's needed. And you know what, Miranda, you're completely right. Going to college is going to make it happen even quicker. But at Broward College, it's even a lot quicker. And everybody, I didn't pay Miranda to say that. It's a perfect segue, and I appreciate it. But I'm the program manager at Broward College for the AS and New Media Communication. So we have a board that tells us what employees are missing, the skill sets that they need. And they're not seeing that. A lot of employees think, hey, you know what? I can use the phone. Yeah, I can do social media. I'm good. It's more than that. Most people don't have the skills that are going to put them above everyone else that applies. So I'm going to give a little kind of a blurb, a little advertisement for my program for the AS, because what we do is we have 6 classes that gives you a tech certificate, and that tech certificate actually gives you the skills you need to get some pretty amazing jobs in the branding and the any social media world. For example, I'm sure some of you want to be a business analyst or a marketing coordinator, or a social media coordinator, even a communication coordinator. So these you can get junior positions. And what's really cool about Broward College and our degree is that they're going to give you the skill sets that you all need to walk in the door after 6 classes with a tech certificate and say, hey, I stand out and I'm ready to go forward. Of course, you need computer mediated communication. You need your writing to get better. You need to know a lot about Photoshop, but it's just more than Photoshop. Photoshop is sort of old school. So you really need to take classes more into digital photography, different ways that we communicate and create brands. So we give you those 6 courses to give you that tech certificate to enter into the social media branding world. And after that, you can even continue to do your AS in 2 years. So you can even get into that sort of social media community. You can work and you can still continue studying if you want to. So really what we see is that a lot of students are coming back to Broward College and saying, hey, you know what? My job says that I don't know how to create a logo, for example, or I don't know how to move forward with branding. Well, at Broward College, we give you those schools. The degree is AS and New Media Communication. With that, like I said, you only need that tech certificate to get that foot in the door. And you'll go really far. Really, this is all I have to say right now. If anybody has any questions, they can always reach out to me. But we're here to give you those skills needed that people are missing out on. All right. So thank you all for listening. And if you have any questions, I'm looking in the chat.
Thank you so much, Professor Shears. As we said earlier, we have so much information to give you. We even dropped in some information about Broward College. And by the way, you should be seeing our handles in the corners of the screen. So make sure you're following us on Instagram, okay? Also follow Bridge to Life. And I'm going to come back to that in a second. Anyway, so there's a lot of information. Here's what's next. Did you know that South Florida is a major tech corridor. Professor Shears kind of just talked about that a little bit. There are hundreds, and I mean hundreds of companies right here in our backyard, yearning, just craving for tech talent. Women, remember, we need more women in IT as well. And I'm very pleased to introduce to you Vice President David Coddington from the Alliance, who, like Denise, does extensive outreach work with students. He's going to talk to you about Tech Gateway. David, welcome.
Thank you very much, Sean. I appreciate that. Can you hear me? All right, there we are. Beautiful. All right. So, correct. There are more than hundreds. There are literally thousands of companies in South Florida. Is there any way to get the map on here? If I stop it, will we see it? No, it's not. All right. Hopefully we can get the map up. Super. So there we are. All right. So we are updating it now. Thank you very much. There are thousands of technology companies here. And I'll tell you, and folks don't realize that, they tend to think that, yeah, it's a great beach area or so forth. Yeah, yes, it is. It's wonderful weather. We're glad we're not buried in snow like up in New York and New Jersey right now. But did you know that the first smartphone, everyone's got a smartphone, most people have a smartphone, but that wasn't invented in Silicon Valley or in California or Boston or somewhere like that. It was invented right here in our own backyard between Motorola, who was in plantation for decades, IBM up in Boca, and Bell South Technology. That was actually, they call it a brick. It was like this big. Before, but that was invented here. The first personal computer was invented in IBM in Boca Raton in South Florida. So there's so many companies. I was actually just on the phone with the folks from SiriusXM. Their R&D facility, their research and development facility for everything from the car to the satellite is all done right here in Greater Fort Lauderdale in South Florida. There are just so many different companies. If you go on to techgateway.org, you can click on all these logos. They're activated. You can find out, other companies like Zendu, which you're like, what's Zendu do? I never heard of that. Well, they're a smaller company, but they hire software engineers and they do a platform. They have a platform for small companies on their finance side. There's just companies here of every kind and there's opportunities. So, we put this map in every middle school and every high school in Broward County. So maybe you've already seen it. And then we also have speakers that go out from the companies. Microsoft's Latin American office has been here for like 15 years in Fort Lauderdale. We have the only software engineering plan for Ford Motor Company. So you hear about all the stuff that, micro mapping in Miami and self-driving cars, all that. Right here in your own backyard is the software engineers that are developing that technology. And they want folks to be able to develop that talent right here on our own backyard. So this is a regional effort. This is Miami, this is Fort Lauderdale, this is West Palm Beach, all doing the same. I was talking to one of the gentlemen at Hotel Planner the other day. They're up in Palm Beach. We're in Palm Beach. They moved their company from California to here 10 years ago. And they were like, this is one of the best decisions that we ever made because of, obviously just the quality of life that we have and that talent that comes out of this area. So love to be able to, have you guys visit the site, see what's here. I mean, there's so many different types of companies that are in our backyard that you don't realize, who's here. Citrix is, worldwide company, 40 offices around the world, started and headquartered here. Magically, for you guys that are into the gaming and so forth, this is crazy stuff. This is right out of Star Wars, where you have glasses that you put on and you see the physical world and the digital world all at the same time, which is amazing stuff. I don't know if Denise is speaking. Denise Mendez says she used to be working on part of that with Magic Leap, and that's right in Plantation. So there's a tremendous amount of technology and opportunity, and we would love for you all to be, get your education here, whatever, if it's Broward College or FIU or FAU or NSU, or if you go up to UF and you're a Gator, wherever you're going, to be able to make sure if you stay here, work in one of these companies, if you go away, that you come back, that you be part of this community and, help us continue to be a true tech hub, one of the best in the country. So much opportunity here. So I don't know if there's any questions in the chat, but if you go on to, to the, on the website, you can see the other things that are on there. Like I said, if it's job posting. So if you want to know what kind of jobs are out there for your future, go on there, go on the job piece, look at it. see what those opportunities and what you need to have as a goal, maybe, what does that look like for you, in the future. You've got other companies that, so here's another one, Chewy. So Chewy is here, and Chewy.com. And if you think about what that looks like as far as, if you guys have seen that, the blue boxes, and they sell all sorts of pet food and things, all that. The guy, Ryan Cohen, who started that, he worked his butt off, got that, built it up, started with a few people, downtown Fort Lauderdale, and then grew it, and then sold it for, what was that, $2 billion or 1.8, or whatever $billion. Gentleman walked away with a significant amount of money, but he worked hard and he figured out how to create. He started a company and like, okay, how do I get the word out? He saw a niche in the market that to bring great customer service, to the pet industry. And how do we do that? And how do we make it? I mean, he's competing against Amazon. He's competing against, one of the biggest companies in the world, and we love Amazon too, but nothing like a little good competition. And so, he figured that out, and he actually hired some other folks that were, from Amazon, got that expertise, but built that company right here and sold it. And now he's off investing in other companies. So many great stories. It's not just Silicon Valley. It's not just Boston. It's, it's not just, Texas. It's here in your own backyard. So I hope I gave you some information, some things to think about. Go on the webpage. And if there's anything that I can do, Tron, to help in you, let me know.
Thank you so much. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Again, Vice President David Coddington from the Alliance, thank you so much. There's so much, again, right here in our backyard. And you know what? We have another presenter that's going to talk about just that, the tech world, the tech corridor, branding, digital branding, SEO. We have another amazing influencer. We have a woman influencer on with us, Misfits Gaming. Misfits Gaming, we see that you are on. Go ahead and unmute. The floor is yours. Tell the folks a little bit more about digital branding, SEO. Let's tie all of this together. The floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, guys. So my name is Ella Pravitz. I'm the president of media and branding at Misfits Gaming Group, which is a esports organization based in South Florida, but we have teams in Europe, like our League of Legends team, for example, is part of the League of Legends league in Europe, in Berlin, Germany. We also have a Call of Duty team. We own an Overwatch team, as many as having many influencers signed across the board. So we're in parts of all that franchise. The really interesting thing for us is that each of those franchises, our Call of Duty, Overwatch, and our League of Legends team, all have completely different brands and different branding. So we have different names. One is Florida Mutineers. One is, Misfits Gaming, as you hear from Misfits Gaming Group, and one is the Florida Mayhem for our Overwatch team. So my job is actually to lead. I have under my umbrella of my department, we have our social media team. We have our designers who do, everything from graphic design to anything we need internally, business stuff, to, announcements or marketing graphics for events. And we have our production people and our post-production. So for us, branding and SEO stuff. So, I mean, specifically on the technical level, we have sub-marketers on my team that will specifically, optimize anything. Obviously, it's super important to be able to track data or to be able to, also make sure that whatever we are marketing, is going to the top of whatever page it is, or even when we think in terms of what content we're making, we often think algorithmically, in terms of like, how do we hack a YouTube algorithm or reverse engineer things, to create XYZ content to make sure it succeeds. So all of that is extremely important. Like literally when we break down YouTube content, we'll often talk about like what's searchable, or sometimes we look for like keywords or the most searched questions in Google, for a certain keyword or subject, and we work backwards from that in terms of how people engage with content and find it, and then we use the creative process a bit backwards to ideate. I'm not sure if that's specifically what for this context you guys want to know in terms of SEO, but I'm also open to like any broad questions in that. But for me, the just overview is the three biggest things for us are, how do you engage new fans? How do you keep fans once you have them, and how do you, entertain them and ultimately like make people have a positive feeling when they think of your brand and a strong association with it, right? So the digital aspect in SEO is really how are you reaching more people with your message, and online, especially in the world of esports, because all of it exists online mostly. I hope that's like a helpful intro. Do you have any specific questions or something that you guys want to guide me in for this one in terms of, kind of digital branding and what do you specifically mean by that when you guys say digital branding? Because, I think of the branding means so many things, right? I'm curious. Is there anyone that can answer that one on this for me? I mean, I can keep going. I'm not sure. Is there a Q&A? What are some games?
Yeah. Hey, honestly, part of what we have is having a great product, right? But if nobody knows about it, that's really difficult, right? To grow your channel. So, digital branding from your logo to, making sure that that the aesthetics looks in line with, who you're trying to connect.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So let's talk about that. So, okay, I'm going to answer some of the questions in here. I'm assuming those are for me in here. So, like, what are some popular games to start with? I think, are you talking about for esports? I'll answer live here. Yeah, SEO, search engine optimization. Are there any tools? Okay, so when you say games to start with, what do you mean? You mean in terms of like, what are you trying to do, Carlos? What should I use to edit my videos? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, Adobe Premiere is usually the most popular in companies. So if you're trying to work with other people, it's a good idea to learn that. I know people use Sunny Vegas, but often they can switch over to Premiere just because most Adobe stuff is in there. Do any tech companies offer mentorship for high school students interested in engineering? That is from way earlier. Okay, going back. What should I use in the YouTube improvements, popular games to start with? In terms of games, I think you should look at, if you're trying to make content and you want to reach, ultimately look at like what's trending. Like, let's say you don't have a brand personally. Okay. So if you're trying to create content and be seen, think about it this way. Things that trend get suggested to other people, right? You know this, when you scroll through your YouTube or you scroll through your Instagram, they're collecting cookies on stuff that you're interested in or something that's trending. If a lot of the most successful TikTokers or YouTubers that we work with or influencers really understand this. They are jumping on trends the same way on TikTok. You jump on the sound that's working, you jump on the song that's working, you jump on a key moment or a key beat, and you capitalize on that and you drive it home. Why, and you do it fast so that when somebody searches that thing because, some big thing just happened, you're popping up, right? Or, it's a trending or your thing is one of the first opinions on that. A lot of the time we always ask our players, it's good to talk about controversy in some ways or weigh in on something that people are talking about it because it creates conversation, which promotes discussion, which promotes your post and your thing's visibility, right? So in that aspect of social media, that's super important. Again, in terms of content for like YouTube or how we're making stuff, we literally reverse engineer. Like when we're making YouTube content, I was actually talking to my team about this in the last 3 days, there's 3 main sections that I like them to think about in a very high level categorization. And it's all based on how people engage with content. One is you have searchable content. When you are on YouTube, you're going and you're searching for things. And that could be anything from like, how do I play this champion in League of Legends, or Aurelia Guide, League of Legends, top 10, snipe shots or stream things like how to, change my car, oil. Whatever it is that you find that you are searching, there are certain marketing websites too where you can actually take those things and find them. The top search things are what we often will look for and try to reverse engineer videos. So if we know, like there's this website called Answer the Public I look at sometimes, or you can pay for a subscription to do it for free. If we know that like people are asking a certain champion is trending, that is a good indicator for us to, okay, maybe we can make a guide for our YouTube channel if we're targeting our League of Legends audience, right? Because we know a lot of people are searching that right now. So that'll be recommended, and then it'll snowball because it'll get that initial views in a higher duration and it'll be a recommended video. So we're looking at, and that's a good way to engage new audiences, right, that don't already exist for you. Another section is browser content, which is what people, when you're scrolling through, it's that type of thing that you might stop and look at. And I often think of those as like a very compelling story or a big event or transformative. You see that clickbaity title and you're like, how a 14-year-old became a Fortnite superstar? You're like, I want to know that. Like that kind of stuff that's clickbaity that draws you in. That's like browser content. And again, new audiences. Key there is also the view duration being higher so people watch longer, right? And the last is subscriber stuff, and that's satiating an audience you already have. So if we're talking about social media in that way, it's like, what do you do? For us in esports, it's like the player vlogs, the behind the scenes things, all that kind of stuff that people already care about and they just want to get more of.
Awesome.
So yeah, I guess you have to move on, but there's a little bit on all that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Ella, thank you so much.
Yeah.
A wealth of information. Please, if you're not following Ella, make sure to follow Misfits Gaming. As you can see, she has so much information to provide us with, and we're just so thankful that you're on and that Ella did this kind of last minute thing. Thank you so much for jumping on with us. We
You're welcome.
greatly,
I'll try to
greatly
answer
appreciate
some
it.
questions on the typing, and sorry for going a little over.
Bless you, Ella. Yes, she's going to answer. So you'll have your questions answered. Thank you again. Okay, now it's that time. You've heard about the $100 YouTube competition. Please enter after the conference concludes. How about a quick $20? Anybody want $20? Anybody want $20? Okay, well, here's what you need to do. Find us on IG. Once you find us on IG, follow us. Like our latest post, the most recent post that we posted, like that post, and tag 2 friends. That's it. Did I make that simple? Do it now. 4 winners, count them, 4 winners will be announced at the end of the conference tomorrow night. Go follow us now. It's on the screen. Again, you've heard about it. Again, find us on IG, follow us, like our posts, and tag 2 friends. That's all you have to do. And then we will select 4 winners, $20 each. That's simple. All right. Okay. Moving right along, we have another company, top ranked company by Forbes as one of the top companies to work for in the country. Ultimate Kronos Group, right here in our backyard. We are going to play the ultimate video and then hear from Nisi Johnson about how to qualify for, get ready, internship opportunities. We told you it was coming. Here it is. Let's watch that video. Okay, and yes, hey, Nisi, the floor is yours.
Awesome. So my name is Nisi Johnson, and I work for Ultimate Software. Actually, we're now UKG. We merged with Kronos, who's also another pretty large company. And when you have 2 mega companies joining together to make one, and we made a baby, we came up with UKG. And now we're definitely a force to be reckoned with. And as the gentleman prior just said, we are one of the #1 companies to work for in the country. And the reason why is because our purpose is people, right? And for us, our people are our employees, our customers, and our communities. And we believe if we take care of our employees will take care of our customers, and our employees and customers will also take care of our communities. So the other great thing about working for Ultimate Kronos Group is that we have amazing benefits. So all of you that are actually looking to go into college or actually in college right now, as everyone said on the call, stay in school. We'll talk about a little bit about the internship program, but we definitely want you to stay in school. And you know, the benefits that we have, that we offer is, you know, tuition reimbursement. Even after you finish, you might work alongside other people within the organization and find that there's something else that you want to explore, and we help with that, providing both training and tuition reimbursement. The other thing that we have, which I absolutely love, is unlimited PTO. That does not mean that you never get to come to work. It just means that you have a work and family life balance, especially important for someone like me who dabbles in filmmaking on the side. I get to actually enjoy the creative side and strategic side at work, as well as while I'm at home. The other great thing is that we have 100% paid insurance for you and your family. So as you get married and have children, we cover your healthcare or your insurance premiums for you. We also have 45% match on our 401k, which is amazing, unheard of. I don't know any other company that gives a match like this. And of course, you're coming into the workforce, but when you come into the workforce, you also want to consider when you want to retire and when you want to leave. This definitely helps towards that. And the biggest thing that I love is that we have a culture of fun. And one of the things that I love about this company is that I get to actually enjoy working with my coworkers, but we also get to enjoy playing together. So one of the things that we like to do on my particular team is at 4:30, we get together online and we play Among Us. So I'm sure many of you have heard of that game, but we get together, we play that game, and many of the other teams play different games, but we make sure that we incorporate fun into our culture. And lastly, I know that a lot of you have asked about internship programs. If you're interested in internships, I actually put the name here, the email address that you can actually reach out to, as well as going to www.ukg.com. And when you go there and you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll see a list of opening positions. For our TechStar program, we recruit from local colleges, and as long as you're at least finished or within your first year, you can actually apply for the TechStar program. And the requirement that we have there is that you, of course, pass an interview. And then the second step is we have a hacker rank test. And as long as you've taken some basic programming classes, you should be fine there. So we look forward to seeing you guys and welcome you guys to our family.
Nisi, thank you so much for that information. And you know what? Not only do we have some youth on, but we actually have some adults on that I'm sure are in college or maybe wrapping up soon. So that's perfect timing, perfect information. Thank you again, Nisi Johnson from Ultimate Chronos Group. We greatly appreciate your time here and the internship opportunities. Okay, one of our favorite sizzle reels, one of the favorite videos this evening comes from Total Marine Solutions. Just wait, here with us from TMS is our good friend and the CEO and founder, Alex Anagnastis. She's got an internship opportunity to speak with you right after the video. Let's cue that video.
At a time when the world stopped, ships kept moving. People still shopped, ships kept on proving. The volume of trade that's moved by sea, 90% of trade, actually. Crops that are weighed, cars that are sprayed, and it's easy to see the impact this makes. Fruit and vegetables, toys and collectibles, wheats and grains, the blood in the veins. Like to land a farmer is, ships are to the sea. And if the world is the heart, ships are the arteries, which stock the pharmacies, move essential commodities. So there's a lot at stake across these seas. Without these routes, half the world would starve, while the other half would freeze. Without these bright colored containers, the four walls in our house that contain us would be empty. The books we read, the animal feed, the oil we need, the global lives that we lead. No oil, no cars, no essential spare parts. The sea's version of stars, those flickering lights on the horizon, by moon and by sun, but the journey is never done. As a supertanker proves, the distance it moves is equivalent to 3 times around this Earth a year. And we are served by over 61,000 ships. The things we buy, the things that shops sell, the 1.7 million seafarers, it's more than just engines that propel this industry. And it's easy to see that a lot is owed to the people that load. 6,000 ports worldwide, but it's not all plain sailing. It's rough seas and piracy warnings and the change that this inevitably causes. The sea covers 70% of our planet, so you can see why we need to plan it. A global community of knowledge and passion. From salt and sugar to the latest fashion, our ships keep moving products we love using. Ships make the world go. They help trade flow and let business grow.
Thank you so much. And Alex, the floor is yours.
Great. Can you hear me, Tron?
Yes, we can. We can hear you loud and clear, and we can also see you.
All right, super, great. Well, thank you very much for inviting me back. I'm happy to be part of this Bridge to Life conference. The reason why I wanted to show this particular video is those of us in the maritime industry feel like we operate in a bubble. And I really wanted to take the opportunity to be with you tonight to present and give you a glimpse of the industry that I grew up in straight out of high school, grew up here in South Florida, and tell a little story about how important the ships are and those people who serve on board and how important they all are to global trade. So before Amazon delivers it to you, everything moves, 90% of the world's good moves to all the ports around the world by ships, including Port Everglades, which is based right here in Broward County. So a little bit about Total Marine Solutions. What we do is we supply ships with environmental systems, equipment and systems to handle the waste streams that are on board ships. And a really important system that we developed at TMS is called Ocean Guardian. And what Ocean Guardian is, it's a digital database of environmental regulations around the world, and taking an AIS feed, which is an automatic tracking system, which you probably know. We take an AIS feed from ships, and we give the people on board the ships a traffic light indication of what they can and cannot discharge wherever they are in the world. So it keeps the ships in compliance and it keeps the oceans clean. So Tron mentioned that we are offering a scholarship program, not scholarship, but intern program. And if you're interested in it, I'm putting a little contact here in the chat panel. This is a young lady that works with me. So if you're interested in it, if I piqued your interest in the maritime industry with that video, please send Ray a note, let her know, and we'll be in touch with you. But I wanted to offer a little bit more. So going back to that video clip, I'd like to challenge those that are interested to produce a 30 to 60 second video describing your takeaway of that clip. Of course, you can have access and watch it all you want. Submit your video, 30 to 60 second video, to the conference team by Friday, February 19th, and Total Marine Solutions will award a $250 award for the video that's considered the best. Okay, so I really appreciate the opportunity to be part of the program, to be part of this conference, tell you a little bit about our maritime industry, which is right in your back doors. Hopefully I piqued a couple people's interest, and I'll be hearing from you.
Wow, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. $250. I mean, are you kidding me? We're giving away so much here tonight, and we're so thankful to all of these companies that are on with us. Again, thank you so much, Alex. We greatly appreciate your time tonight.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck to
Thank you.
everybody.
Good luck, everyone. You heard it. Okay, next up, I'm super excited to introduce to you our next company and speaker, NextEra Energy, the top producer of wind and solar energy on the planet. Here we have with us Andrea Pelt Thornton, who is an amazing IT and community leader and also a dear, dear friend of ours. We are going to play the video, and then the next voice you'll hear is Andrea, who will be talking about an exciting scholarship opportunity. More money? Yeah, more money. Okay, let me shut up. Let's play the video, shall we?
All right. Good evening, everyone. Hello, Tron. Hello to those of you who are out there. And thank you so much for this opportunity for NextEra Energy to participate in this program. We are so excited for you because we understand that those of you who are on this channel and participating in this conference are clearly innovators, clearly big thinkers. And those are the kinds of people that we love in our company. So who is NextEra Energy? Well, clearly, as you've heard, we are the largest producer of wind and solar energy in the world. Why? Because we believe in sustainability and we're committed to the sustainability of our planet. NextEra Energy is made up of many great subsidiaries, including Florida Power and Light Company, as well as Gulf Power. And we have other subsidiaries that operate across the country. I share that because we have a lot of great opportunities. But the biggest thing to share tonight is, well, how do you get there? How can you be a part of our great company? Let me pick up on some themes from the video. You saw the drones, you saw the robots, you saw the technologies. Well, we are passionate. We are passionate about using technology to power our lives. And you know that energy is ever changing. So if you are someone who wants a constant challenge, know this, NextEra Energy is a good place to be. Yesterday there was wind, today there's solar, tomorrow there's hydrogen energy. We're constantly innovating to ensure that we can power our world. And if you want to make a difference, here are a couple of opportunities. First, for those of you who are still in high school, you are welcome and invited to participate in our scholarship program. If you need some dollars to help you get through college, and we provide dollars for scholars. The requirements are there as well as the link. Let me just point that the application and the deadline to apply is February 15th, and you're required to have a 3.0 GPA. Take that into mind because we are awesomely passionate and excited to invite STEM students. Also, the other thing I'll share is that we have a very dynamic internship program. So if there are college students that are in the audience, let me invite you to go to nexteraenergy.com, NEE.com, and check out our careers site because our internship postings also appear there on our careers site. We start now in looking for interns for the coming year. In fact, we just kind of wrapped up for the summer, but we will soon begin looking for interns for 2022. So again, if you have an interest and a passion for energy, you want to learn more about NextEra Energy, I invite you to check us out.
Thank you so much. Did I hear dollars for scholars? I love that. I love that ring. I'm not gonna take it. I'm gonna leave that for you, Andrea. Thank you so much, Andrea. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you, NextEra Energy, for joining us. Again, I mean, we tried to pack this in with as many scholarship opportunities, internships, jobs, companies as possible. We hope you're happy. And again, I know we're happy and we're thankful for these companies being here. So Andrea, once again, thank you so much. Now, on to our final company for this evening. Here we are, home stretch, SEI Wireless. We are going to hear from Ali Regley, a great example of a self-made, let me repeat this, self-made entrepreneur. Ali is the director of marketing and co-owner of SEI Wireless, and she is going to speak with you about work-based learning experiences, real life work experience, after we play her video. So let's cue the video, and then Ali, it's on you.
What if safety, efficiency, and productivity were deeply connected? That the technologies that make us safer could also make us better at everything we do. Smarter and faster, more focused and aware, more connected and resilient, more accurate and fair. It's a reinvention of what safety can achieve, from everyday operations to your overall mission. We've made it real by building the first technology ecosystem that unifies voice, video, data, and analytics on a single platform. Technologies that communicate with each other and learn from each other. Information that flows freely from cameras to radios, from smart devices to command centers. Intelligence that advances outwards, giving you eyes and ears where you've never had them before. Addressing the industry challenges of today with an eye toward the future. It's time to know more of what's happening, to put people where they're needed most, to get ahead of events before they unfold, to start evolving without limits, disruption, or downtime. It's time to reimagine what safety can do.
Wow. Am I speaking now?
You are. We can hear you loud and clear.
Fantastic. Well, I have to tell you that I am fired up. I cannot believe the company that I kept, and wait till I tell my kids that I hung out with all those YouTube influencers, especially destroying. I think they're going to be blown away. So as much as I am. So thank you so much, Bridge to Life. This is extraordinary. So something Derral said, and let's go back to the other slide. Something Derral said is always be learning. So a very important factor that I've taken in was always have a beginner's mind while you have a filter and decide. So today we're going to see how smart, swift, and savvy success strategy was something that was my North Star and helps me navigate through my business. And at the end, we'll offer you a class on how you could get your center and North Star while you navigate and explore the world, because there's so many options. That's the next slide. Thanks. So SEI Wireless Solutions is a Motorola Elite channel partner. We have interns, and I realized they didn't realize what a channel partner was. So if you go to the next slide, what's a channel partner? It's a lot like a franchise, just a tad bit different. So a channel partner is partners with a manufacturer where they produce products, services, or technology, and they help co-brand it and sell and service it. So under our partner truly is Motorola. So it's a real, it's a marriage. But under the Motorola product line is this thing called Nitro, a Vigilant, which is security reimagined, Nextel, Avtech, which is software, how it really connects. Hot Sauce is something that connects with the hospitality market, Royal Caribbean, things like that. So technology touches so many places. So the next slide. So what do I do, and how did I end up doing this, and what is digital marketing? So what I do today is digital marketing. But how did I end up doing this? And I'll tell a quick story as quickly as possible. Is I started selling beepers. Well, I went to buy a beeper, and then I ended up talking to the guy and ended up selling the beeper. And so over time, I went from beepers to, which David mentioned, I'm so excited because he said the first PDA, the first personal device, which was a Simon. And I was working for Bell South Mobility as the first mobile office, and I sold that Simon, so it was really cool. And then I went up to digital security. So you just never know where the universe might take you. And somebody actually said to me, and this might go against everything everybody else said, but study what you love because you might not do what you studied. So I studied art history and marketing. I did end up in marketing, but I did love that I studied art history, and that kind of wove in creativity, thinking out of the box. You just never know. But I encourage you to pick up a book called Johnny Bunko by Daniel Pink, because you just never know where you may end up. But now that I'm doing digital marketing, what is digital marketing? So the next slide, you'll see that it's overwhelming. And this slide was taken in 2016. I had the good fortune in the early days of the internet. I came home to my husband and I said, you know, they're going to buy books online. And he made fun of me. He said, and they're going to bank online. And no, they're not. I got to meet this gentleman named Scott Brinker, who is this chief marketing tech. And every year he creates this slide of how complex digital marketing is. So there is so much you could do in just this space, and it touches every industry that we're talking about tonight. So really fascinating. So but what's really important let me go back to that smart, swift, and savvy strategy is you do need to focus. You need to think in order to achieve a lot. So we have an intern group now with Indiana State, and the professor asked me what are the most important things to SEI Wireless, and we're really a small mom and pop shop with the relationship with Motorola, which it gets the best of both worlds, having a small company with this global company. And small, I mean 35 employees, over $10 million. That's still small. So it's interesting. But what I need to focus on to touch my customers and that I work on is email, bridging sales, and technology integration. So think about that and focusing. Next. And it was Nacy said, people are so important. Everything that you touch will be people, process, and technology in a company's ecosystem, and it'll touch a tech stack, e-commerce, the finances, operation, logistics. Maritime is all about logistics. So pretty amazing. So next slide. So this gets back to, it's really big out there. It's overwhelming. So you have to start. I know that some of the YouTube influencers were saying, you know, what do you need to do? You need to start small. You need to, and for me, I like to say, I think, I do, I renew. So I'm going to offer, my offer today is a class which I can help share my wisdom of 30 years in a 50-minute class on where do you take those first steps? How do you think? Where do you start this big audacious journey? And it starts with the first step. So thank you so much. I feel like so blessed that I was with such good company. And awesome. What a great day. So hopefully they could put that link in the chat. And I'm thrilled about today.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Tron.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ali. We greatly appreciate it. And thank you for taking your time out. I've said thank you so much, but I just can't thank everybody enough. So once again, thank you for joining us. And here we are. We've reached almost the end. We have a student survey that we want everyone to hear about. Uh-oh, is there a chance to win a $20 Amazon gift card? Carolina Lopez, Broward College leadership team, are you on with us right now?
I sure am. And I'm feeling like there's a lot of lucky people that are going to enter this survey, that are going to enter the opportunity to win one of many gift cards. And most importantly, they're going to tell us how we did, right? How can we improve the resources that you're going to have moving after this event? How can we help you get ready for your future? So without further ado, we're going to put the link on the chat box. We look forward to hearing from you. And, you know, B2L, we're here for you along with Broward College. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Carolina. So again, that's an opportunity. Check the chat. We're going to drop that link in there again. And you know, we're going to just drop it in there again, just to make sure that everyone has access to it. Again, opportunity to win a $20 Amazon gift card, $20 Amazon gift cards. That's tonight. That's tomorrow night. We're giving away money. Okay, guys, guess what? Now we're at the end. A few highlights from tonight. Weren't our influencers just amazing? They talked about everything you wanted them to talk about. Again, we listened to you and they gave us just that. And we had scholarship offers upon scholarship offers, internship offers. I mean, you name it, it's there, it's available. Dollars for scholarships. I like that. I like that. But before we go, there is one other video for those of you that are right here in Broward County. We have our Broward County libraries, and they have some amazing creation stations to show. It's a short video. I'm going to come back and wrap things up, and then we'll see you tomorrow night. Let's watch this video.
Looking for somewhere to unleash your creativity and ideas? We have just the place. Broward County Library, Creation Stations, and Teen Studio. Our centers are equipped with the tools and gadgets to educate and introduce the latest technology to the public, including 3D printing, and robotics. At the main library, you can free your imagination and bring your creativity to life. Use our large screen background to record videos. Then you can use our iMac computers and software to edit your videos, add any effects and scenery, and upload them to YouTube and social media. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff are here to assist and answer any questions. Broward County Creation Stations and Teen Studio are here and open. What will you create today?
Wasn't that amazing? Again, that's right here in our backyard. Thank you to our Broward County libraries. They're right here. And thank you to our sponsors. Take a picture and you know what, youth, teens, especially if I were you, hey, I'd do some research. Go online, Google, right? Everybody uses Google. Find out more about these sponsors and these amazing influencers. And again, just a big thank you. This was just night one. Tomorrow night, guess what? We're going into the world of gaming, e-gaming, e-sports, all things electronics. So get ready. We're going to have lots of conversation tomorrow night. If you did not sign up for tomorrow night, it's all good. We have an opportunity for you to do that. We're actually going to drop that link in the chat again so you can sign up for tomorrow night if you didn't. And we're getting started promptly at 4 p.m. And by the way, if you want to be eligible to receive one of our giveaways, please make sure to follow Bridge to Life. It is in the bottom corner of the screen. Bridge to Life, join us. For you students out there, especially high school students, Bridge to Life is offering volunteer hours. We're also offering more money, more scholarships, ties to scholarships, and other resources. By the way, for those that are right here in Broward County, we have Broward College. That's the college that I work for. Go Seahawks. So make sure to join Broward College as well. Follow them at Broward College. It's that simple. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. Join right now because we may have, just hear this, we may have some more cash giveaways through that Instagram page. So make sure to follow Broward College. Make sure to follow Bridge to Life. We hope that you had a wonderful night. We hope you learned something. Sign up. Again, we're dropping that chat in the link. We're dropping that link in the chat. How about that? Right now so that you can sign up for night 2, which starts tomorrow at 4 p.m. This has been a blast. Whew, what a day. My name's Tron Lepet. I'm signing off. Broward College Bridge to Life collaboration. South Florida's first ever YouTuber conference. DJ, cue that music.
I heart BC because it's the best choice. I heart BC because it's the best choice. I heart BC because it's the best choice. It's the best choice. It's the best choice. People of diversity, equal opportunity. Let's inspire a generation to create unity. It ain't easy to get a top degree. Your education will get you the top pay degree. Here at BC, we united by one love. People so good, you think they came from above. Break out your shell, go and hit the clubs. Don't be the reason TLC made scrubs. You can learn a lot, meet new people. See how we're all different, but still equal. There's so many doors like in the Matrix. All of our tutors take you back to the basics.
We are world changers. We are difference makers. We are future leaders. We are world changers.
Look, it's a plane, not a Seahawk, man. Soaring higher, looking for new goal to attain. This school is filled with people young and old. They are all young, living stories untold. On the route to riches, so there's no washing dishes. Ready for them quizzes, they gotta handle business. With a future state of mind, you gotta let it shine. Go and take your time, don't get pushed over that.
Hey, you know what? It looks like we still have some folks on with us. You like the party? You like the music, huh? Okay, great. Just a reminder to follow us. I know I keep saying this, but make sure to do that. Follow Broward College at Broward College. Follow Bridge to Life. We have it in the corner. We have it right in front of you. Bridge to Life SFL. Follow us. Okay, DJ, I just had to say that again. Make sure to check the chat. We're dropping links in the chat right now. Make sure to follow us. DJ, take us out of here.
Yeah, yeah, all right, yeah. When the forecast says nothing but clear skies and good moods, blessings from all around, and that's all we see in the forecast for today. First thing I do as I rise up is count my blessings. First thing you should do as you rise up is count your blessings. Cause every new day under the sky is a blessing. Yeah. And you're surely best if you have life. Ain't no guessing. Yo, I want you hear me like the radio. Want you see what I'm saying like a video. Understand me clearer than stereo. Life hard but try don't make nothing trouble you. Morning neighbor, voice the dealio. Hope you have a good day and everything is okay. No matter what happen, we not giving up. Plus life too short, so let we live it up. It's all about the high life. We vibrating on a high frequency, vibrating on a high energy. Yeah, we coming to your life with a bag of good vibes. Everything is alright. We vibrating on a high. Yeah, say, you know the vibes. We never stop, we never give up. You know the heights. We never break, we never ease up. No worries, have no time for stressing. Yeah, and the L is no longer a loss, a L is a lesson. It's a no profit in studying people business, so why you investing? What a next man do with his life can't be that interesting. Hey, I want you hear me like the radio. Want you see what I'm saying like a video. Understand me clearer than stereo. Life hard but try don't make nothing trouble you. Morning neighbor, voice the dealio. Hope you have a good day and everything is okay. No matter what happen, we not giving up. Plus life too short, so let me live it up. Good sis.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Blood in my eyes, a woman you make me cry. Never you hurt me, never you tell no lies. You are the woman of my dreams, girl. Don't even know what you're saying me. Girl, I wanna spend my life with you. No matter how busy, I'll make time for you. Say through thick and thin, man, I write for you. And if it's loving what you want, you'll get that for two. Girl, I love you for you. You never pressure me. Girl, I swear you were sent for me. And I was good without you. What you made me a better me. Is you give me the melodies. Girl, you could take all my royalties. Cause you have been dancing away. No one dancing away. Your love just makes me feel like just dancing away. You have been dancing away. This thing just makes me feel like I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, yeah. I'm ready, I'm ready, yeah. I'm ready, oh yeah, yeah. I'm your guide if ever you lose your sight. I'm your life if ever you need mine. You are the woman of my dreams, girl. Baby, I love you forever, yeah. Girl, I wanna give my time to you. Every morning I will vibe with you. Healthy conversations, about life with you. I wanna spend everything every day with you. But you tell me now, you say build apartments and no buy no car. You say invest in rest, build an empire. And when I don't give back to who need it more, girl, I love you just for that, yeah. You have been dancing away. No one dancing away. Your love just makes me feel like just dancing away. You have been dancing away. This thing just makes me feel like I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, yeah. I'm ready, I'm ready, yeah. I'm ready, oh yeah, yeah. Dancing away, dancing away. Dancing away, dancing away. Oh, I'm so grateful. I could never give it up, no. When I lost and can't find my way, is your love help me elevate? And when they try to block, I still come again. It's the way you lift me up. I could never give it up, no. When they push me down, I get up. And my ground, I get up. Turn it around, I get up. Cause you are there for me. Thank you for everything. Thank you for loving me. And you always been right there. I telling you, cause you're the reason I believe in love. All them things, but I thank you. You stand by me. No matter all the rivers, we live in love. For everything, but I thank you. Always around, and I thank you greatly for giving this energy. You give me that energy. Can you feel this energy with the rhythm beating inside of my soul? This energy, you give me that energy. We feeling this energy with the rhythm beating inside our way. Watch how we jam, all in it and celebrating love. Yeah. Cause you know just when I was lost, now I am found. All the times I would feel like I had enough. You keep taking me higher. When they push me down, I get up. And my ground, I get up. Turn it around, I get up. You are there for me. Thank you for everything. Thank you for loving me. Cause you always been right there. I tell you, cause you're the reason I believe in love. All them things, but I thank you. You stand by me. No matter all the rivers, we live in love. For everything, well, I thank you. Always around, and I thank you greatly for giving this energy. You give me that energy. Can you feel this energy with the rhythm beating inside of my soul? This energy, you give me that energy. We feeling this energy with the rhythm beating inside our way. This energy, this energy, this energy with the rhythm beating inside of my soul. This energy, you give me that energy. You give me that energy. Oh yeah, I get up, na na na. I get up, yeah. Oh yeah, I get up, oh, I get up. I can never give it up. You're the reason I believe in love. All them things, but I thank you. You stand by me. No matter all the rivers, we live in love. Everything, but I thank you. Always around, and I thank you greatly for giving this energy. You give me that energy. Can you feel this energy with the rhythm beating inside of my soul? This energy, you give me that energy. We feeling this energy with the rhythm beating inside our way. Hey, hey, I can never give you up, no. Nah, nah. This energy, I'm so grateful. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, she had the thing I love. Where she from, I don't know. Rock she waist and go low. Pick up the place like a dojo. So what you say, what you say, what you say? Pretty girl, when you come my way. Now what you do, what you do, what you do? I must get through. Girl, roll up now, you show me that wine. Turn around, girl, don't be shy. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, so girl, I love how the way you blow my mind. Hold me tight and bring down wine. Hello, 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 hello. Lord, hey. Are you ready? other girl them don't know how she clap the thing like a go-go, lad. So what you say, what you say, what you say? Sexy girl, when you come my way, what you do, what you do, what you do? I must get through. Girl, roll up your way, show me that wine. Turn around, girl, don't be shy. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah. So girl, I love how the way you blow my mind. Hold me tight and bring that wine. Hello, 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 hello. Lord, hey. Are you ready? Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Are you ready for it? You want give me that? No hold back. Wind it up, ride it. Front to the back. No long chat, just come to me. I'll give you that sweet type of love. Sweet type of love. Come give me that sweet type of love. Real type of love. Hold me, darling. 'Cause whole night we jamming. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dum 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 dum. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Na 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 na. Hey. KTB, yeah. FA. My man, yeah. Let's go. Right now, my vibes up are getting on. It's no regrets if tomorrow never come. 'Cause this is my time, I let him go. And every second's a blessing from above. It's like a feeling I can't control. It's in the ways I want to wave, I want to whine. So if you tell me I have to go, no, no, oh no. I go take a wine down low, then I go in and wine up so, and take a jump until morning. Bet till I fall in, soaking wet, and I up in every fet. It could be hot sun, no storms. Bet till I falling down, I'm falling down. Say look, I'm falling, girl, I them like they want me. Bet till I fall